Hey everybody, you know what? I'm going to put these headphones on for a second to ensure I still sound okay. It's Beej. Hi, welcome to the bonus stream. Beej's Anime Roundup one more time, because it's been 3 months and so it's time to do another one. The microphone sounds just fine where it is. Welcome to my household office. Glad to see you all here tonight on the Loading Ready Run Entertainment Network. I know it's late for a lot of you out there because I keep seeing you post about how late it is out there for a lot of you. Dialed in about 3 hours tonight, so, you know, get comfy. It's early where I am. Let's do the housekeeping first, obviously. Thank you to everybody who's watching tonight. Or maybe you're watching this later on YouTube, and thank you, YouTubers. I'm a YouTuber. I guess you're a YouTuber. We're all YouTubers these days. Everybody is a content creator. And if you're not feeling content with all that money in your wallet, you might want to give a bit of it to us. Go to the YouTube membership on youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. You can subscribe to become a member of our channel and give us a little cash. You can also super thanks. Apparently that's another thing you can do too. If you just want to drop money for super thanking and stuff like that, please feel free to do that as well, where it is supported on whatever channels it is that we are doing. Sorry, my eye feels a little dry, so I'll try not to touch it so much. That might freak some of you out. Or maybe I'll just do it a lot. Anyway, you can also support us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun, through the subs and the bits, and that's the stuff that I know that you do, but also the Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, a big way you can support us, in fact, and we're really thankful for everybody who supports us on the Patreon. That's really great, and we're glad you're kind of just doing that, and it's good for us. It's paying bills, it's making stuff happen, people can eat. That's lovely. I like all of that. And obviously there is the store, and that's the one big thing right now, the big push that we're having on store.loadingreadyrun.com. We are moving to a new Moonbase, to Moonbase Mark 6, and I in fact went by there recently, and there are more sticks between the ceiling and the floor, which is good news because that means it's where all the drywall is going to go. And there's lines in the wall now. There's electrical lines, and there's like water lines, and so great. So feeling good about that. But to support that move to the new Moonbase, to celebrate the launch of the new Moonbase, of Moonbase Mark 6, we have merchandise on the store. The Welcome Aboard collection from Moonbase Space Lines, consisting of the Moonbase Penny Arcade pin, the Moonbase Mission patches, the Moonbase 20th Century Travel poster, and the Moonbase Welcome Aboard First Class bundle, which is those... I seriously just got a phone call? Oh, sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. I knew it was going to be something bad, but I just needed to be sure it was going to be something bad. I get so many calls where it's like, for work, where it's like, I don't recognize this number, but what if it's a work thing? So, not a CRA scam, a Canada Post scam this time, Nigolki. Good old Canada Post scam. It's like, hey, it's Canada Post. You've missed your pickup. And it's like, no, I haven't missed a pickup. We don't do the vehicle extended warranty thing in Canada yet, I don't think. I haven't seen that happen up here. So anyway, all those things on the store, you'll notice that the bundle and the pins are sold out. I recommend just go there anyway and put your address in the blank to be notified for the thing that you want. And do that for anything that's on the store if it's the thing that you're waiting for, because it lets me know whether I should reorder it or not, and we have minimums to make. And so we've already sold through our initial allocation of bundles and pins and stuff like that, so we're trying to work that on. We're trying to make sure that we have enough to move on from there. So to be able to reorder, that's such a weird thing that I said, to be able to reorder, to make our minimums. That's the thing. Let's move on to why we're actually here. And thank you everybody who supported the Moonbase Mark 6 to celebrate the launch of Moonbase Mark 6 so far. You've been very generous, and I'm glad that you're liking this stuff. So, let's see here. I gotta go to that one. I'm being asked if I speak Spanish. No habla español. Sorry. Je me regrette de rien. Anyway, it's been another 3 months of it's been another cool. It's been another 3 months of anime has been being shown, and winter 2023 is at an end essentially, and we're just going to roll through here and talk about the stuff that I watched. And again, to set this up, if you watched something that I didn't, that's not me making a value judgment on you. So, you know, you're allowed to like the things that you like, and I'm allowed to like the things that I like, and we're all going to get along with each other because we like the things that we like, and we're not going to spend a lot of time arguing about whether a thing was good or not, or that kind of thing. But you know, I am going to talk at length about the stuff that I enjoyed, and or maybe talk at length about the stuff I didn't enjoy if I had issues with it. We'll see. I think I did pretty good this time. Starting with Ars no Kyoju. I didn't watch this. Hope you enjoyed it. Moving on. Ayakashi Triangle. I like the idea of the whole Ayakashi thing, but you know, I don't know. I looked at this and I'm like, probably not. And then all the thighs, and the Zeta Ryoiki and all that kind of stuff. And wow, she's barely wearing clothing. Anyway, I was like, not going to watch this. And yeah, I didn't. So maybe you enjoyed it. Congratulations. Thank you. Dark Morford, as points out, I'm on anychart.net. It looks weird because I've blown it up so you can actually see it. So this is more of the responsive design thing. But I'm on winter 2023. So you can join me there. And the first show I actually did watch, because I was reading the manga for this. People were scanning the manga, and I picked it up and started reading it, and I thought it was really interesting. Benria Saito-san Isekai ni Iku. This is Handyman Saito in the Another World. I love it saying it that way. This is fun. It's different. But I think it is. I feel it is different and think it is different because the manga is different. It feels different. Like, I feel like this was just conceived as a thing on Pixiv, that somebody was just like, I'm just gonna do this kind of cool idea I had of a guy who's a handyman, Saito-san there, who goes to to this other world because he gets hit by a truck, he gets truck cooned, and basically his whole thing is like, I can pick locks, I can repair leather goods, I can, kind of repair like other things. I'm just kind of a basic handyman. I have a lot of knowledge in like a lot of areas, and so I can kind of be helpful for stuff. And it turns out being somebody like that can be really helpful. Weird though, because it's like most handymen who would you'd think that they would just earn a craft, right? And he opts to not do that. He just ends up falling in with an adventurer group and goes on adventures with them. And they're actually, the manga never really feels like there's a story. It mostly just feels like it's like slice of life things of, here's what it's like to be a person in a group like this and going through a giant dungeon and I have all the isekai kind of adventure-y medieval tropes, but it's fun and it's good-hearted, and all of these other characters, the four here are our four main characters, including La Fan the fairy, and Ryelza, who's the warrior, and Morlock, who's the very aged wizard. Basically, Ian's character Crankor from a lot of the stuff that he's played D&D wise, that's kind of this guy. He got so smart and got to know so many things, and then he started losing his memory about stuff, and there's reasons why, and you find that out. And all these other characters are people who you're going to just meet along the way, and they're going to look like they have their own stories, and it's like, why are we breaking for their own stories? Oh, because at some point we kind of cross paths with all these people, and that's what's kind of fun about it. Is it's like it feels like, we're developing a larger world and we don't really know what the relationship between all these people are, but then we start to see that as they cross past each other more and more, that's like, oh, there's a reason why they all kind of get along. It has a great ending song, I think, and the great ending sequence, which is very kind of like feels very like stop motion-ish kind of thing. I think it's very cute. The actual last episode has a dance sequence which is very stupid. But it's fun. As you can tell that it was just like, we got time to burn and we got money. Let's do a dance sequence, and they do, and it's just like, wow, why? But it was fun. So I really enjoyed this. I'm glad that I watched it. I got to see it like animated in action. Moving on, Buddy Daddies. Heather and I just finished this last night, and this is way better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be very good at all because, like, I like the whole, single dad, I guess double dad kind of situation where it's like you end up with a kid, not a baby. I guess you have to take care of like a young child who can go to daycare and stuff. And these two guys are partners, contract killers, and they end up killing this girl's dad, and they're like, I guess we should maybe adopt her, and without letting her know that we killed her dad because of lots of reasons. And it ends up being very sweet, very charming. I like Anna-chan's design from the daycare, the woman who looks after everything there. I think she's an amazing character design that you don't get to see an awful lot of. I was like, that's really good. They leaned into that. Overall, you have that sense of, especially because the other day Kathleen was talking about this on Checkpoint, where it's like, boy, it just seems like Japan has this, they're doing this push of supporting. I think it was Kathleen who mentioned it. They're doing this push of supporting companies to do manga and to do anime that focuses on, look at how great children are. Maybe you should want some children. People in Japan, there's like a big, kind of backdoor push for a lot of that, and it's like, all right, so the This is PA Works doing that kind of thing, and it's fun. It's very interesting, and it doesn't give you a lot of the downsides, and it is definitely more comedic. But again, I had a good time watching it, and you might have one too. Bungo Stray Dogs 4th season. I didn't watch that, so Card Fight, Vanguard, Will plus Dress, season 2. Didn't watch that. 4th season, wow. 4th season of Overdress. I guess that's what the Will plus Dress is. Cool. Moving on. Let's see. D4DJ All Mix, 2nd season. Didn't watch the first one, so didn't see that. Dungeon ni Deai o Motomeru no wa Machigatteiru Daro ka 4. Second Kura, the 4th season of Dungeon. Shinsho Yakusaien. Didn't watch that. Eiyu o Bu o Kiwameru Tame Tensei Su, Soshite Sekkai Saikyo no Minarai Kishi Lady. Didn't watch that either. Yeah. Flaglia, Natsuyasumi no Monogatari, Summer Vacation Story. Didn't watch that either. High Card. Didn't watch this either. Hikari no O. Didn't watch this either. See, we're kind of setting up a thing here. I feel like I watched a lot this season, but I guess maybe I didn't. Then again, we kind of always skip a lot, don't we? We tend to. Hirogaru Sky, Precure. Did not watch the new Precure? Yes, probably a new Precure. I guess it is. Hyoken no Majutsushi ga Sekkai o Suberu. The Arnold Academy of Sorcery. Just the moment I see this, I'm like, I don't know. So, yeah. That's okay. Teenage drama. He's secretly the most powerful sorcerer. Whatever. I don't care. On the other hand, definitely not everyone's cup of tea. Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san. Second Attack. Thunk. Yo. This is, boy, you had to like the first one if you were going to watch the second one. And I did watch the second one, and it's been a lot of fun. And I especially like the fact that the tinier, what's her name again? Suamura? I can't remember now. But the tinier version of her now shows up to be a Kohai. The manga's been really good because it's in like 90th. Yeah, Small Bunny. Thank you, Rock Pusher. Small Bunny and Big Bunny. the manga's been really good, and so that's kind of kept what's kept me interested in watching this, because I'm like, it's really just adapting stuff that's chapters and chapters back now. But we've been leaning in more to, like, in this season was leaning more into the idea of sorry, I have a terrible. Did Heather leave Kleenexes? She did. Oh wait, no, I think it has been dislodged. Sure. Um, we kind of been leaning more into Nagatoro, starting to show the stuff that she's interested in doing. She just doesn't like to come over and bug her senpai. There's stuff that she, uh, wants or used to want, but now by meeting him, she's having some character development as well. But so that there's more that, she wants. She kind of starts thinking about doing judo again, and then really he's like, maybe you should do that if that's something you really want to do. So, um, Gekyoryu says, one of my favorite things I've seen of the manga is Twin Tail Girl. I forget her name. That's Gaku-chan. They call her all the time. I forget her name though. But Twin Tail Girl's Ahoge, that there, the ping, just gets bigger and bigger over time. I never noticed that. One of my favorite things about this manga, and what they really bring in the anime as well, is the wiggly nature of Nagatoro, where she's bugging senpai and she's smacking him with, like, she gets a noodle arm, and she just hand disappears, it just becomes a noodle, and she just keeps smacking and smacking him with it. She, the thing of, I will just go complete, like, shadow, Yoshi, that's it. Thank you, Vaz-san. The Twin Tail Girls is Yoshi. She'll just go, like, full on, just I'm a weird black shadow that has like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube girl, yeah, Kohai, and God, Gekyoru got through same time as I did. And yeah, there's so many, just watching that and getting to see it in action and getting to see how wiggly she is a lot of fun. The opening and ending themes are still a lot of fun too. Like, I especially love the ending theme for this season, because the animation for it is really good, because he's not only running away from her, he's running away from the three of them as well. And what's great is to see how he does it, because he just basically takes the hell off from Nagatoro. But when it comes to Gak-chan, he's like, I really have to leave, because she's like, I'm going to put such a hurt on you for whatever reason. They're not actually going to ever beat him up, but it's like, it just feels like she's going to kick his ass. And then Yoshi is like, he's falling down, and she sees him and gets all excited, because she's like, I'm going to torment him next. And he starts swimming up against gravity, very cartoony kind of thing. And it's like, this is all in the ending sequence, so it doesn't have to make any sense. But what I love is when he runs into her. I forget her name. Please tell me what it is. Because she has such, like, her. I like her a lot, Sakura. I like her a lot. I'm going to take Travelog's word for it, because she has a completely different energy than the three of them, because they're all pure chaos, and she's like, I seem like an airhead, and I seem like I have a lot of boyfriends, and I seem very gentle, but I'm also very gyaru, and that when they run into each other in the ending sequence, when she sees him, it's kind of like the, hand on the mouth, and sees him and like, oh, I'm going to embarrass the hell out of him. And he doesn't run away. He starts backing away very slowly, because he doesn't know what's going to happen. Because at least with the three of these girls, he knows that he's in for some torment somehow. He has no idea what she's going to do. And it's probably going to be something that's like, borderline, like, sexual in some way. Like, I'm going to get really close to him and whisper in his ear, or I'm going to do something else to make him uncomfortable, and that's going to set him off in a way. And it's like, she doesn't have the same energy. And I love that it's like the author and the team who did the anime was like, we're going to make sure all four of these girls all have their own personalities and all are interacting in a different way. And that's what I really like about the show. It's like, they all seem to have different personalities. And oh yeah, and the Travelogue says the VAs are all doing the song. And yeah, I think that all the VAs are all four of them sing their parts in the song as well for this season. And it's fun. So yeah, I enjoyed this. Moving on. Yes, Isekai Nonbiri no Ka. I don't think this is like, I think this show is just candy. Like, it is just candy. Like, everybody has big boobs. Well, all the girls have big boobs. And let's be honest. It's almost nothing but girls In fact, for all intents and purposes, it is nothing but girls in this show, except for the guy at 39 who died in the hospital. And then a godlike figure said, hey, I'm going to let you live again. And so says, I just want to be healthy and live peacefully, speak the local language, and then just maybe like live on a farm. And he's like, and the god's like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Then I'm going to give, I don't like what I did there. Let's go back if we can. Oh, no, we can close this and go back. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you this really cool godlike farming tool. And you're going to carry that around. You're going to go farm and stuff. And it is just like the manga I like a lot because it, for the most part, it's what I really want out of a lot of these things, which is the kind of very video gamey feeling of, hey, I dug some places to plant food. Okay, now I have food. Oh, I managed to tame the local inferno wolves, which is fun in itself. So now I have dogs who hang out with me. You know, I managed to meet a giant, they don't put Zabuton in here. I managed to meet a giant fucking spider who is like content to just live in this big tree and make clothing for me. And it's that kind of thing. And it's when all the girls start showing up, you definitely, your heart just will sink because you're like, I don't want this to be harem. And it's like, I know it's not supposed to be harem. And I feel like in a way they're trying to lampshade that by saying all the girls who keep showing up, eventually it becomes very clear that they're like, but also because they need a place to settle. Like eventually some high elves show up and they need a place to settle. And so it's like, oh, well then you can live here. You can work the land. I'll plant all the stuff because I can use my hoe and it will, my farming tool. I don't get tired while I'm using it. So I can plant whatever I want. And if I think about what I want to grow in the space, it will just magically plant those seeds. So I can plant stuff from Earth here on this planet. And also he's living in a place called the Forest of Death. So like nobody wants to show up. So they're all kind of like running from, I don't know where I'm going to live. It's a really rough existence. Yes, we're happy to live here. And they carve out this great village. And I love, it's a very Sim City kind of feeling thing where it's like you can see the growth and you can see it get big and you can see them build things and improve stuff. And like over time, it's like we're building canals and we're doing whatever. And Lysander Salamander points out the ladies are much more competent at managing everything about farms and towns because he couldn't manage all this stuff by himself, but he's still kind of the mayor because he started the place. So like, we're going to make you the mayor and you were nice enough to let us live here. So we're happy to let you be the mayor. And I find this just really relaxing and really appealing. And the only thing that I think would set anybody off about it if you were watching it is that clearly as the women become settled there and more of them get settled there and more of them start doing like settling in and doing stuff and building houses and doing whatever, a lot of them are like, he is the only man here and we should probably get repopulating our village. Not because we want to tie him down, because if we did that, then if one of us tried to tie him down, then all the other women would be very upset. So we'll just agree to share his seed. And I'm like, yeah. And I like that they gloss over that even in the manga for the most part for quite some time. Even in the anime, they gloss over it as much as they can. The anime ends with Rue here getting pregnant and giving birth to their kid because she's the first one who shows up and they end up getting married. Essentially they agree to, he basically makes a proposal and she thinks it's a full-on proposal and it's like, okay. And so, yeah, it's this thing of she ends up having a kid and they manage to kind of gloss a lot of that out. But the rest of the manga does have its moments where he's like, or even in the anime, he's like, I'm just choosing not to think about what they're trying to get at when they keep making these things about, boy, they want to have kids at some point. And he keeps trying to find other men to move into town. And when he finally gets some men to move into town, even then it's like lizard men or the men are too young or like all those kind of things. It's like, they're not, everybody's all compatible. It's just like, so yeah, it's fun. It's like, it's fun to see how we're building this town, we're building relationships with other people, and it's fun to see how it's like, it's the kind of thing that if I was playing a video game where I was the main character doing this is exactly how I'd want to be able to do all these things. So it feels great to be like, I'm building this myself thanks to this, very healthy body, and thanks to this like magical tool, because everybody needs help, right? You don't just bootstraps your own shit here. Everyone had some support somehow, and this is how he had support, and he's willing to pass it on to everybody else. And I like it. It's not, there's a reason there's no ecchi title here, and all that kind of stuff. The girls might all have great big boobs and stuff, but there's not a whole thing about that going on. There's borderline stuff of like, like, oh, we built a bathhouse, and he's like, yeah, awesome, and then all the women show up and they're like, sweet, and he's like, hang on, okay, we're building separate bathrooms and there are bathhouses, and they're like, why would we do that? And it's like, because, god damn it, ladies, just let me do a men's and a woman's. Fine. Yeah, so yeah, it's complicated. I like the manga though. The manga's like 90 odd chapters, and it does more stuff than this, and go check it out if you're interested. Moving on. Bofuri, or itai no wa iya nano de bougyoryoku ni kyokufuri shitai no omoimasu. Nigo. It's the second season, and what's been fun about this compared to the manga, the scanlated manga anyway, is that this is way ahead of the scanlated manga. It feels like, which is weird. Because I'm pretty sure there's elements of the manga that are being scanlated right now that are things that have already been adapted, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that the show missed. So I'm not really sure how you approach it. Go watch both, go do whatever. I just really like the fact that Heather and I both love this show because it is just fun to watch Maple, who's the main character there. It's just fun to watch Maple find the new stupid ways of becoming incredibly OP. And yet in a way, despite that, it's like, this is still fun, and it's not so bad to watch her kind of just go around. It's a comedy, right? So it's meant to be that kind of thing. And everybody else really is in the game is kind of like, holy shit, have you checked out what Maple's been like? And it's like, yes, but also it's like everybody in the game, the thousands of people playing it, just kind of accept Maple as like some sort of weird cryptid. Like there's no way she's real. Like she's a real player. She's something else. So we're like, man, just how did she do that? It's like, I don't know. And she's not telling. And it's like, that's probably for the best because you don't need a bunch of people like that running around. But anyway, a lot of fun. Watch the first season. Kaiko sareta ankoku heishi, 30 no slow na second life. So another kind of like do-over thing, but I did not watch this. And yeah, I just was not interested. So perhaps you did. Anyway, moving on. Kamitachi ni hirorareta otoko ni go. I guess I'm going to keep using go as for that whenever I see the two. Second season of By the Grace of the Gods. Again, another fun manga. The show I really like. Like, I like the show so much more. This is healing as shit because nothing bad ever seems to happen in this show. I hope this goes on another 9 seasons. I hope they adapt every part of the manga. I think there's a part of the manga they didn't where he ends up cleaning up like the town latrines or something. And if I'm just reading far ahead or whatever, and they haven't done that yet, I hope we get to see that in season 3 or something. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen a lot of the stuff that's here in the scanlated, so I don't know what might have been missed. Maybe I'm thinking about a completely different boy adopts slimes and does thing. Was that season 1? They did do it? Okay. So fair. Christ. It's a lot of fun. I would love more concentration on let's do more things with the slimes. Like, it's fun to watch the everything operating out of the stores and stuff, and he's having a good time with, oh, the festival's coming up. I'm like, sure. But it's like, he moves to another town, he sets up a new store, and then he like teaches the people there how to run things and gives them some slimes to do that. I'm like, that's good. A little more of that would be good. Oh, a new slime is discovered. That's good too. I like that. I want him to like, every time he uncovers a new thing or adds a little more technology to this world or does a little more research and stuff, I'm like, I want those things. Those are the really good parts. The thing is like, there's a festival coming up, and I'm like, you better have something really good out of the festival, because I don't give a shit about, we thought of a whole bunch of ways to make new food, so let's concentrate on that for total of about like maybe an entire episode across 3 or 4 episodes. Like, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about isekai food eating. I'm glad that you figured this shit out, but we can move on. Like, concentrate on some of the other more interesting developments. What makes this boy who is a 40-year-old man living in this world. What makes it so interesting for him to be here? And there's a fight. There's actually a part he goes out adventuring, and as Gekyoru says, the fight with the trees, and it's like iron slimes and metal slimes are different, and that's like, yes, important things to learn. And I'm like, that's what I love about this, is just kind of like, let's expand that. That's what I want to see more of that. If you're going to adventure, make it something that adds more to what's going on and not just they're having a fun time. It's like, I just want you to have more things showing up that kind of tweak the worlds in different ways and make everyone be like, who is this kid? Because there's a lot of that already, but I really liked it. Moving on. There and there. Kori zokusei danshi to kuru na doryo joshi. The ice guy and his cool female colleague. Not a great translated name, I don't think, but actually a fun little show. Heather and I watched this together. Watch my voice, my goodness. And this has been fun. I would watch more of this if it wasn't for the fact that definitely feels like it wrapped up. And also, I guess I'd want it to be getting into more of what Wotakoi does. Love is hard for an otaku. I wanted to be workplace comedy, romance. And I wanted to focus on the fact that, okay, there's there's him who is descended from a Yuki-onna, there's her who's descended from a fox spirit, there's him who's descended from a phoenix. And it's like, I want to see the relationships develop between all the couples that show up. I'm like, more of that. I'd like to have that. And I guess I'd like to see what happens to the relationship once they get together and start dating and start going through all those things as well, and what happens with the rest. Because I'm like, this is fine. The two of them, just focusing on the two of them is fine. But I'm like, you actually gave us some fairly interesting dynamics between these other two couples. And I'm like, a little more of that would be kind of nice too. So if they did do more, I would definitely watch it. And I had a good time watching this. Moving down. Kubo-san wa mobu o yurusanai, or Kubo-san won't let me be a mob. Or rather, Kubo-san, Kubo won't let me be invisible. How's that go again? I think it's that. Anyway, this is, I read the manga for this, or rather read the manga. It's done. It was very generously paced. Yes, Kubo won't let me be invisible, I think is the actual name of the manga. And Kubo here seems to like to kind of poke fun and interact with Shiraishi, who is, he is invisible. He's just like, he never gets seen by anybody. People actually literally will not, they'll just lose track of him in class. They'll be looking around, like, is he here today? They'll look right at him at his desk and not see him until they do a double or triple take. And so that's kind of his lot in life. But for whatever reason, Kubo can see him, which is interesting because, I mean, his own family can see him, and she can see him all the time. And it's not entirely clear. People are like, oh, does she like him? It's like, spoilers, yes, she likes him a lot. But we're not going to kind of lead down that path just yet. This is definitely a romance, and it's definitely very funny. What's also funny is when you find out that her sisters can also see him, and it kind of makes me feel like almost like they have a superpower that they can pick out people who are invisible. They can just do that naturally, which is fun in itself. And yeah, it's just fun and light, and the ending theme is interesting because I think it has 3 different time signatures at times. It's really odd, but yeah, I really like this. I really like the manga. It was a lot of fun. I don't think they're going to do any more of this. I don't think they would need to at this point. As an ad for the manga, I think it works very well, and I think it was just very touching and fun and nice and good. And we're going to talk about more anime like that for the next season. But I just say I like this, and we'll move on. Kyoko Suiri Season 2. Didn't watch the first one, so another Human and Yuki-onna thing. But yeah, didn't watch that. Kyuketsuki Sugushinu Nigo. Didn't watch the original. Didn't watch this. Majutsu Orphan Hagure Tabi Urban Rama Hen. Didn't watch this. Oh, we're getting questions about, sorry, seeing is the I like the manga because you can read it all now if you can find the thing. And right, thank you, Travelog. They only did half of this because they got delayed. So the second half, that's why I kind of felt like a little let down because I'm like, right, there was only the 6 episodes, wasn't there? So there'll be more of this coming up. If it actually does make it into the spring season, I'm sure that it will. All right, moving on still. Mao Gakuin didn't watch this. Anyway, Mao Gakuin no Futeki Gosha Shijo Saikyo no Mao no Shiso Tensei shite Shishon Tachi no Gakko e Kayo Nigo. Didn't watch it. Don't know what it's about. It's blocking half the screen. Oh, by the way, there is a light novel. Yeah, I think it's a light novel that Dengeki Bunko is publishing that is 146 pages of the title. So when you pick it up, the front cover is the start of the title, and every page is going to be printed on glossy stock, like the front cover of a book will be, and have like a picture of the main character like behind the lime green text. And so as you page through it, it's like just a multitude of covers all the way through, and you just read if you read the whole thing, that's the whole story, and that's the whole thing. Clearly this is stupid kind of thing. And so you just read the whole thing and that's it. It sounds like they're talking about making an anime where the entire anime is told in opening sequences. So the whole anime is just nothing but opening sequences all the way through. Get 23, 24 minutes of opening sequences, maybe an end sequence to kind of end, I don't know. And it's just that for however many episodes they're going to do. And I'm like, that is a lot of fucking work because that's a lot of songs. Because if it's the same song over and over, it's going to get really irritating. So you have to find ways to break it up, I'm sure. If they do it, it'll be amazing. I don't know if they will, but I hope it happens because I really feel like this has to be like the nail in the coffin for this kind of stupid thing. As I've understood it, as I saw somebody writing this up, there's a meme out there where somebody was complaining that, hey, why is it that all the anime these days are like incredibly long titles, and then but manga from like 10 years ago was just called Blood Joe, like that kind of thing. And the person answering the meme was like, well, this is because that got started because people wouldn't read the blurb, so they have no idea what the manga is about. So somebody just said, well, what if you took the blurb that you normally write on the front cover of Blood Joe and you just make that big enough so people will actually read it, and then that gets taken as the title, and then the next thing you know, that's how you onboard people into reading your manga, and it's like, oh my god. And yeah, and it's just, or your light novel or whatever, and it's kind of gotten very out of control. So it is very dumb. I agree, Lizard Knight. It does not make much sense to do it that way, but that's what they do. So it's probably a trend, and they will probably get away from that soon. Mononogatari, I did not watch this. Mo Ippon, I did not watch this. Nier Automata version 1.1a. So we tried watching this because enough people like Nier Automata that I was hoping I could learn something about what the game is like from watching this. I think we watched 2 episodes, Heather and I, because it was like, maybe let's see what this is all about and what this is like. And I feel like what I get from it is you're not going to know what it's really like until you probably watch a lot more episodes. And like I say, I've only watched 2. And maybe that's the way Nier Automata works as well, is that you can play it, get your first ending, and it's like, right. But if you play it a few endings, then you start to understand more about what's going on, I'm thinking, because I don't really know. And so far it seems like obviously the first episode just kind of drops you in at hey, this is a thing that's happening and this is what you're going to be doing, and then you do the whole thing, and then everybody dies, and that's the end of the first thing. And don't worry, because they're back in the next episode. Why? Well, because they can do that. They're androids, and they just upload their memories to like the grid or whatever, and they can download them again and come back and keep this thing up. The question as to Why we're doing this is told a little bit more in the little puppet theater things that they do near the end, it sounds like. I don't really, and like in other parts, I'm like, it's definitely not trying to front load you with a whole bunch of information, but it sounds like there's so much information in the game and in the series that if they did try to do that, you just have an entire episode that would be nothing but exposition where nothing happens. So, the puppet theater is this fun, silly game endings. Okay, it's good to know. That helps me approach that a bit better too. Again, I don't know enough about this, and so it's kind of like, so anyway, moving on. We were watching it. We'll see if we watch the rest of it. I don't know. Ningen fushi no boukensha tachi ga sekai o suku you desu. Right. I know I didn't watch this, and also this thing of like I got kicked out of a party because I was accused of embezzlement, and who knows if I did it or not, but then I got into another party and now we're unstoppable. It's like, sure, whatever. I guess I didn't really feel that for whatever reason. Nokemo no Tachi no Yoru, didn't watch that either. Oni-chan wa Oshimai. This show I didn't watch, so I have no opinions on it, so fucking whatever. I've heard so many people talk about, whoa, what's Beej gonna say about Onimai? And I'm like, fucking nothing. I didn't watch it. I know next to nothing about it. The only things I know about it are what I see brought up on the Dynasty Scans Discord shit posting panel, and I'm just like not interested. And I don't know if anybody else is interested there or not, but it just kind of seems like it's like, oh, I mentioned a thing, and we kind of move on. I'm like, not interested. I just lost on the premise. I think maybe that's it. O Yukiumi no Kaina. Did not watch this. Don't really know anything about it then. Otonari no tenshi-sama ni itsumo no mani ka dame ningen ni sarete da ken. Right. Big question mark there. I think I was thinking about it. I don't think I did not watch this. So I don't really know anything about it. And we'll move on. Pocket Monsters, Mezase Pokemon Master, didn't watch that. I mean, we all heard about what happened, I think, but it didn't watch that. Oh, the Angel Next Door is great candy floss. Very, very junk foodie? Good. Okay. I like a good junk food every so often, but anyway. Revenger, didn't watch that either. Rogo ni sonaete. Rogo ni sonaete isekai de hachimanmai no kinka o tamemasu. Only watched this because I am reading the manga. Only reading the manga because I was looking for something to read one day, and somebody recommended this and another manga that has a protagonist that looks exactly the same and is a very similar situation. And I'm just like, I gotta know how they adapt it. And they adapted it just fine. Do I think this is a good... I don't know. Like, it seems pretty fluffy. Like, I like Isekai no Nbiri no Ka better, but maybe, can you say that that's because there's a male character there and you're kind of reading yourself into that? Maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. This is all right. It is interesting to see, like, oh, these are the ways I'm going to be doing things. Sometimes I feel like she's kind of falling into some of the good luck she's having. Yeah, hard to say. I'm glad that I got to see it, to see how it was adapted. When I would get to the end of the episode, I'd always be like, I wish I could watch the next episode. I kind of wish that I could I think this is like a bingeable one where it's like, if you really want to sit down and watch it, it's like, okay, well, I'll sit down and watch 2 or 3 episodes, kind of catch me up to as much of the story I want to absorb, and then I can wait a bit and watch the next one the next day. So it's like, anyway, it was what it was. The show ends with her being given land, which she was not expecting to have happen, but now she has land, and then she has people to look after. And I'm like, I think that's where it starts to get more interesting, because in the manga, here come spoilers. In the manga, she manages she gets attacked um by sailing ships from another kingdom. Her land gets kind of attacked by, or rather they show up and they're like, we're claiming this space, it's going to be ours. And she's like, yeah, well, I have guns, so tough shit. And as a result, it changes her relationship with the king. The king really likes her to begin with anyway, but it's like changes her relationship with the king and everybody else around her. And now they have a flotilla, right? Like, or rather, they have 3 ships, but it's like we have a flotilla. And yeah, it's wild because she's able to, like, she's now having a big effect on foreign policy, and I'm like, that's cool. I just kind of want to see the more management side of, like, her whole goal here was just, I'm in this other world. If I can raise 80,000 gold coins through my own, like, go to Japan, buy some soap and shampoo, jump back to the isekai and sell it for a marked up price, then I'm just doing trade, and then I will earn 80,000 gold coins. I'll be able to retire early because I can just find ways to do this. And she keeps moving into new and different things, and I'm like, that's definitely well, what else are you going to do to her? What else are you going to, like, what do you do with this character? What do you do with this character? You can't just let her do this forever. You can just basically write an epilogue and say that she's done. So she has to keep doing new things all the time. So that was all right. If they made another season of this, I'll probably end up watching it. Do I recommend people watch it? I don't know. If you bounced off it, that was probably for a good reason. Moving on. Saikyo Onmyoji no Isekai Tenseiki. I didn't watch this, so we'll move on from there. Shin Shinka no Mi Shiranai Uchi ni Kachigumi Jinsei. Second season of a thing I didn't watch. There's a gorilla. Moving on. Spy Kyoshitsu. I think we talked about it briefly, but then I was also like, maybe not. Yeah, I decided to not. And if you did, great. I did not watch it, though. I don't really have anything I can say about it. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. Yeah, you're right. I didn't mark down I wanted to watch it. I was not interested in watching that. So moving on again. Technoroid Overmind. Yeah, no, didn't watch that. Tensei Ojo to Tensai Reijo no Maho Kakume. Why does this sound... Oh, I was like, why does this sound so familiar? I'm reading this. But I didn't watch it. As you can see from the question mark, I wasn't sure if I want to or not. Because I don't know if I'm going to keep reading it or not. Because I don't know how I feel about it overall. And I'm caught up on the scanlations. And I thought this was going to be this great, like, Yuri-heavy comedy thing. And it's kind of not. And, yeah. Because I think... So the princess, Anisfilia, or Princess Anus here, I can't read it as Anis. I keep seeing Anus all the time. So anyway, she has memories from her past life because and knows things about magicology. But I swear that what happened here is Euphilia, when it starts, I thought she was like, she was a world jump. Like, I thought she was like, oh, this is a game, but I jumped in from another world. Like, I couldn't keep all this stuff straight. So I was like trying to understand what the hell was going on. Anyway, she was supposed to be married to the crown prince. And then he was all like, you have been mean to this girl. It's the villainous plot. Doesn't really matter. Unjustly accused. And then the princess flies through the window on a magical broom thing that shouldn't exist. And she's like, sweet, you broken up with her? I'm taking her with me because because she can get married to whoever she wants. So she's going to get married to me instead, kind of idea. Not really clear that these two have a relationship, but I was like, okay, let's get the Yuri engine going. And it's like, it is not. It just stalls out all the time. And I'm like, I don't see any of that happening here. And it's this romance. And I'm kind of like, I don't see any romance happening here. So I don't give a shit about any of that. Because it's like, to me, it's like, if you don't have enough, it is, I mean, yes, it is a Yuri, but it's not happening enough. The anime ends with that? Awesome. The manga does not, which is why I was like, I am not interested in this whatsoever. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to waste time watching the anime if the manga isn't going to give me what I want out of it. So cool. If the manga's behind the anime, that makes sense. Great. Well, congratulations, you got that. I didn't. I didn't want to waste time on just watching it never actually occur. So, oh, I see. They based the anime on the first 3 light novels. Okay, so that would make sense why they're ahead. All right, The Legend of Heroes. I missed probably what could have been a good Yuri. Who knows? I don't know. Was there enough buildup? Was there enough burn through all the episodes? Because let me tell you, the manga does not have any burn as far as I'm concerned between these two. I don't see it. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe I'm reading it too fast, but it just feels like there's not enough burn. Anyway, The Legend of Heroes, Sen no Kiseki, Northern War. Didn't read that or watch that. Tokyo Revengers, haven't been watching any of that, so moved on past that. Yay! Holy crap, right. Probably, I think, one of my favorite things this season, because I did not know how Tomo-chan wa onna no ko, or Tomo-chan is a girl, was going to work. So this, I recommended this, and for good reason, because the manga is funny as shit. And it develops in ways that I did not expect, and I really enjoyed. And all the manga is just single 4-page chapters, or 4-panel chapters. It's really fun. And what makes it fun is it's not just the two, because the whole thing would fall apart if it just relied upon Tomo and Jun to kind of like try to learn what the hell's going on. But Misuzu and Carol helped. I don't even know why they bother putting him on here, because this dude barely shows up. He's the guy who's interested in Misuzu. But anyway, the relationship the 3 of these have are 3 extremes on a triangle, because Tomo's the very outgoing, tomboyish, I'm just getting out there and doing stuff. Like this could have easily been like a Clamp anime, where all 3 of them had magical powers and they go to another world to fight shit. Like it. So anyway, Misuzu's the very like, I'm very snarky. I'm very I'm very cruel, that kind of thing. I downplay my affect. I'm not very emotional. I'm not expressive that much. Not in the way that she's like Rei Ayanami, but just kind of like, you can see from looking at her that she's kind of like, I just kind of look down on everybody because I think I'm better than everybody else kind of idea. But she's really good friends with Tomo, and it's really sweet to see that they have that relationship between the 2 of them, and they have that understanding of each other, which is really good too. And Carol is just like, she's like, if she's not just a marshmallow, she's like if you put a marshmallow in a microwave. She fills every space she walks into. And she's so sweet, and she's so nice, and she's so smiley, which is what makes the turn that happens in one of the episodes so good. And that's what's like really fun about because she comes in and meets the 2 of them and decides she wants to become friends with the both of them. And the ways that she does it is really weird as well, but they all end up getting along. And I'm like, just the relationship between the 3 girls is really strong and wonderful. And it's like, that's what you want, is 3 people who seem like they're very different people. They're not all part of a clique that belongs together, you would think, but they all really work together very well. Meeting Carol's mom is so fun. Meeting Tomo's mom is awesome. All the moms are just so good. But yeah, this was top notch. Like I didn't know if the manga was going to be good or not when I picked it up. People said, "Oh, it's funny," and I'm like, started reading. I'm like, it's really, really good. And then watching this, I'm like, oh, it's really, really good. So I was really just pleased about this. All right, moving on. Tondemo skill de isekai horo meshi, or campfire cooking, or as Heather and I started calling it, because the thing would cut it off. The title would get cut off in Plex for us. It would just come up as campfire cooking using abs or something like that. It just said abs at the end. We're like, oh, it's just abs cooking, where he's just cooking with his abs. That's what we're gonna. There's nothing to do with abs, but that's how we remembered it. So abs cooking. Hey, a salaryman suddenly transported to another world. This is another one of those comedy weird skill isekais. And he's super overpowered for it, because what's great is when he shows up, they summon him with some other characters from Japan, and they're like, hey, so we summoned you all here to be heroes to help save our kingdom. And he's like again, an ordinary salaryman. He's like maybe in his 30s, right? The other ones are all like high school students. And they all immediately are like, oh, I have this ability to do magic. I can be a healer. I have this amazing sword, or like whatever, right? Or, you know, I'm a hero. I'm the hero dude. And he's like, what skills do you have? And he's like, I have online grocery. And nobody knows, not even him, knows what that means. But what it means is he can bloop himself up a window where he can order stuff from Japan and have it delivered. And nobody waits around for him to try to figure this out. But he just kind of gets stuff delivered immediately in a big cardboard box. Are there implications of bringing over cans of beer and of special sauces and like cardboard boxes into a medieval universe? Why, yes, there is, and don't worry, they tackle that in about 8 seconds. It's great how they clean the whole idea up. It's so good. Anyway, he meets Fenrir-sama over here, who he ends up calling Feru. So Fel, he just wants to eat. And he's decided that, hey, we're going to make a contract because if I'm contracted to you, that means that you'll cook food for me all the time and I'll just keep you safe from stuff. And Mukoda here is kind of like, really? Okay. And they just become like kind of buddies. It's really great. And then they meet Sui, who is this slime here. And you're going to have to wait a few episodes to meet Sui. But when you do, you'll be glad that you made it because, oh, Christ, Sui's so cute. Oh, no way. There's a spin-off manga from the perspective of the slime. I have to read that. That's so good. And then the 4 girls up here are the 4 goddesses who you'll see in the opening sequence. And he ends up talking to the wind goddess a lot. I don't want to spoil things because it's just fun. Like, this is a fun show, and it's really tight. And yes, it's a lot of cooking, and yet it's a lot of cooking brown fried shit. But they don't really lean on that too hard. So yeah, it's really good. I would say watch a few episodes of it and just kind of be like, yep, click, brain off, watch, have a good time. It's really, really fun. If they make more of it, and I hope they make more of it, I can't wait to see more of it. Moving on, Trigun Stampede. I don't know if we've dropped this, but we sure haven't continued it. I don't know what to make of this because it is. Okay, let's talk about enjoying remakes of stuff that you already have watched. And the complication behind that. The original Trigun, you meet Meryl and Millie, and Millie's not in this. If she is, she's not in this yet up to the point that I've watched. And they end up meeting Vash, and he is just kind of a big screwball. And the whole Trigun seems like they kind of just keep bumping into different towns and him saving people through his screwball whatevers. No idea if he has a robot arm at this point. No idea about anything else that's special about him. Trigun Stampede, we learn a lot of things about him and about his twin brother and everything else. Whereas in the original Trigun, we don't get any of that until the second half of the show. So they suck you in with this. It's a screwball comedy. And then they spit you into, actually, here's 13 episodes of quite serious, dramatic sci-fi and the ramifications of all these things. And so it's different. This is definitely, this is what if we took all the same characters in the same settings and everything. Can we retell this in a different way? And they have so far. And for whatever reason, I have not found a great urge to keep watching it. We've watched about 3 episodes of it, and I've just been like, okay, so we have it. And I can watch more of it. Am I that interested by it? And I don't know if, having watched the first one, I felt like it's too different and I feel spoiled, or maybe it is that I like the fact that it's different, but that doesn't mean that I like the way it's been set up, because it is interesting. And it does give you a lot more, it fills out a lot more of the blanks about what the world was like where they were on in the original, because I also feel like I might have missed a lot of stuff in the original. But yeah, definitely giving me more of the sci-fi feel than the abandoned Western towns and all that kind of stuff feel. And yeah, I don't think it's bad. I just don't know if it's for me. And I don't know if we'll pick it up more or not. So yeah, we'll move on. Tsundere akiakurejo Lizelotte to jikyo no Endo-kun to kaisetsu no Kobayashi-san. This is a great premise, I think. That because it is such a weird premise. The two of them play a video game together, but everything they're saying can be overheard by Sigwald, who and they're talking an awful lot about his fiancee Liselotte, and they both have differing opinions on who she is and how she is as a character. And I did not watch this, and I don't know if it's good or not. So, a lot of people in here really excited about it. They really like it. It's good. It's so good. That's great. Maybe I will pick it up and watch it. I mean, I know we're out of the season. Maybe I'll pick it up and watch it. We'll see. We'll see. It was question marked for a reason because I didn't really know how I wanted to approach it. So, right, moving on. Tsurune's second season, Tsunagari no Isha. Didn't watch Tsurune to begin with, so moving on. Unite Up, didn't watch that either. Vinland Saga season 2, didn't watch that. Find some Ukrainian ladies. No, it's okay. Boku to Roboko. I think it's a neat idea. Probably is this based on manga? Based on a manga, makes sense. Didn't watch that. I'm not even sure where I could have found it. Fate Grand Order I'm not even watching Fate Grand Order, so I don't know anything about that. Wow, that's yeah. You were POV. You are a dog owned by probably this girl here. Ino no Natara Skina Hitonin Hirowareta. Didn't watch that. KJ File second season. Didn't watch that. Niji on Animation. Based on Love Live Niji Kasaki High School Idol Club. Of course, I don't love Live, so I didn't know anything about that. Yomawari Neko. Oh, that's cute. The manga centers on a cat who's drawn to the scent of tears and goes towards anyone who's crying in order to comfort or encourage them. Didn't know about that until just now. Did not. 15 episodes aired on March 21st. Okay, so just kind of all got dumped at the same time. Anyway, moving on. Blue Lock. Didn't watch that as a leftover from last season, as is My Hero Academia 6. Didn't watch that. Cool Doji Danshi. Of course, we did watch this last season. We continue to watch it this season. It's still very fun. They mixed in a fifth character. This is Heather and I just constantly watch this. Every time we watch an episode, we're just constantly like, okay, so are they pairing these two off? Or are they pairing these two boys off? And which of these two boys are actually going to kiss? Or are they not supposed to kiss, but they're maybe going to kiss? Because, man, everything about this just really reads like we are setting up. There's just so many kind of like long shots of these grown and nearly grown men kind of looking at each other where I'm just kind of like, oh, there's just seems like there's so much smolder here. Like this seems like yaoi bait, like so easily. So I'm like, yeah, this has probably got a ton of thin books already published and good for them. It's fun. I like it though. It's cute and it's funny. So they go to the beach and they all hang out with their shirts off. And yeah, there you go. So anyway, moving on. I like this Hayate and Mima here, where it's like, oh, not Mima and his sensei, the author whose name I cannot remember anymore. We're not going to cross the two of them. Okay, going to keep with an original pairing. I see. I think we're going to finish out this, and I'm going to take my commercial break. So we'll keep rolling here. AQ Shonen, or Eternal Boys. I actually just managed to pick up some episodes of this. Haven't watched it yet. Don't know if I'm going to now, though, that I'm thinking about it, because I don't know if I want to do more of that or not. If I'm like, am I looking to pick up stuff from last season, really? I might watch an episode or two just to see what it's like. We'll see. It's TV shorts, right? So, Fumetsu no Anatae Season 2. Oh, no, these are leftovers. That's right. Did not watch this. Idolish 7 3rd Beat Part 2. Didn't watch that. Kage no Jitsu Ryokusha ni Naritakute. Didn't watch that. Mairimashita Iruma-kun Sango. I know a lot of people really like this. Rad. I did not watch I tried to read the manga, kind of fell out the whole like, oh, it's a magical school, but it's because it's monsters but you're human and don't belong here. And I was like, nah. So I didn't watch it. I'm glad a lot of you are watching it. So it's nice to see when people enjoy a thing that and it is good. So that's good. Mamikichi Mamiko Neat no Nichijo, didn't watch that. Punirunes, definitely did not watch that. Urusei Yatsuda. Okay, so remember last time how I said, boy, am I bothered because this doesn't seem like, because obviously we're not going to get the full like 200 episode remake of the original Urusei Yatsuda. That was not the idea. The idea was to remake the show, widescreen, modern animation, all that kind of stuff. Make it feel like something you could sit down and watch and not feel like I'm watching old anime. Even though like the character designs and whatnot. It's I think I talked to everybody about this where I'm like, I feel like it is not, there's no, like they're going through the motions or there's like, it's lacking in some sort of like madcap joy. And then I went back after that roundup and was like, oh shit. When I watched the next episode, it was like, okay. It took us like almost an entire cour to get here, but they landed it on this episode that was like a weird like Sugoroku, a weird like kind of game that's taking place inside whose mansion is it? It's not specifically Mendo's. I think it's his sister's, whose name I can't remember. I haven't gone back and watched a lot of this in a while. I kind of banked a lot of it so I can watch a lot of it all at once. And it's that episode where going through the like, oh, we're getting lost in this house and like all sorts of crazy shit's happening. There's traps everywhere. And I was like, oh, this is what I wanted. It is the Mendo family mansion. Okay, fair enough. But I want this crazy madcap, stupid stuff is happening. It's all banging all over the place. And nothing, and there's no slowdown. Like, it's like, we're just going to keep ticking along from thing to thing to thing. And like, this is what I wanted. I want to be crazy like this. I want to be crazy like this all the time. So that when it is not crazy, when we kind of hit like an emotional beat in the story, that it really feels like that you've been grabbed to a stop and it's like, okay, now concentrate on the emotional root of the story here and throw you back in the ocean, back to the madcap, whatever. It's like, that's what I wanted, I think, for me to feel like I'm really a part of it. So this is one of those things where I'm like, I think they got it on that episode, which is now why I need to go back and watch more of it to see, like, does it keep the energy up? Does it keep rolling? Did we have to go through all that in 10 or 12 episodes or whatever it was to begin with? Because we need to introduce a ton of characters. And that might have been wise to be like, every character deserves an introduction. So we're going to give them all their intro episodes. We're going to meet new people all the time. Holy shit, that's a lot of people to meet. But once you've met everybody, then we can get on with the rest of the ridiculous story. And it's like, yeah, that sounds good. Because by and large, story is kind of a, it's kind of a weird framework. It's like Ranma had a story as well. It's like these things have stories, but really what they have is just stuff happening that makes it fun. So anyway, moving on. Oh, 2 more crew next year. Awesome. Thank you, Jolly G. Yomushi pedal, limit break. I mean, I would be pedaling with my mouth closed or because I'd get so many flies doing that. I never pedaled, so that ain't my jam. And now we're into the movies, most of which I did not watch. Aikatsu 10th Story, Mirai no Starway, did not watch that. Argonavis Axia, did not watch that. Blue Giant, didn't watch that. You think I would. Guy wants to learn saxophone. Though, I don't know. I'm like, the reason why I don't want to watch it is because I took saxophone. I played tenor for many years. I took private lessons. I was in a chamber quartet. I was in my high school's jazz band. I was in the concert band. I did a lot of saxophone. I was apparently pretty good, according to my sax teacher. He's like, you would be so much better if you would actually practice. I'm like, am I good? And he's like, yeah, you're fine. Like you just, if you actually would practice your stuff, we'd be flying through lessons. We'd be doing stuff so fast. You'd be showing you know how to do this stuff, but you don't. And if you would just learn to practice or start practicing stuff and actually get good, like work it into your fingers and work it into your muscles and stuff, we could be concentrating on making you better. So it's not like you're bad, but you need to get better. And that was me. But I'm like, with his days in senior year running out, he decides he's going to be the best jazz player in the world. And I'm like, it makes it seem like, for whatever reason, like in the commercial I watched, that he was like, I need something to do. And then he sees a saxophone in a pawn shop. This doesn't actually happen, I don't think. I'm just trying to give you the feeling. It's like he saw a saxophone in a pawn shop. He's like, I could just be the best jazz player in the world. I'll just do that. Like, that's kind of the feeling I get. That it's like, what does he know about doing this? It doesn't seem like he knows anything about doing it, but he's just decided that's what he's going to do. And I'm like, that's what bothered me a little bit about Beck as well. As I'm like, when you're in high school and you're going to learn how to be like a really good guitarist and stuff, I'm like, I want to see you put the work in, because playing guitar isn't something you can just pick up and go easy on. Like, it's just like, and watching him put the work in, I was like, great. Him getting a really nice guitar to make having a better instrument makes it a lot easier to pick up and learn and get used to doing stuff. That's definitely very true. And this is Beck we're talking about now. And just something about that, though, I'm like, I don't know, in middle school and learning to do that and trying to get to a point where it's like, but now I can step on stage with my band at like a huge outdoor music festival and do this. And I'm like, in the course of a year or two, I don't know. You'd have to be a hell of a breakout player to do that, right? And it seems like people in that generation, it's like very rare. It's not like they can't come around, but I don't know. Like, yeah, like Septal Solar Beam says, I appreciate that I could believe Bocchi from Bocchi the Rock was great with guitar on account of her having no life at all. And I'm like, that is the same way I felt about the dude in Beck, as I was like, it seemed like he went home every day. He did whatever homework he needed to do to kind of just keep passing his classes. And he just sat down and he just kind of kept playing guitar all through the night, headphones on, and he just play guitar and play guitar and play guitar and just kind of dump hours of his life into it. And I'm like, okay, I can believe that you can get good and you can get better at that by doing that. I think it's a harder road to hoe when you don't have somebody who's showing you how to get better at that too. And Bocchi doesn't even do homework. So I'm willing to give like a lot of these guys the benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, okay, I can see, yes, you can do that. But there's also so much you can learn about having music lessons. Like, the way I make my D chord on my guitar is apparently not the way most people make D chords on guitar. And that's weird to people when they see me do that, that it's like, oh, yeah, why do you do it like that? It's like, because I learned it out of a book and I wasn't paying attention to how to hold my fingers. I just saw the places to put my fingers. So that's where I put my fingers. And like, but why wouldn't you do it like that? I'm like, because it doesn't make sense for me to do it that way. It's like, but it should be like that. I'm like, I guess I can't help you here, man. I do it like this, and then that's what I have to do. So I know that's weird, but that's what I do. And there's like, saxophone's a little simpler in that you just like, your fingers go in like one or two different spots, and that's it. You don't have to kind of move around a fretboard or anything. But man, is it like, it's very hard to do, because when I went home with my saxophone first time, like grade 7, and I tried to play into it, you try to make a noise and you don't, and it's hard, and you work and you really lean into it and stuff. And I'm just like, this bugs me, because I'm like, I want to see this because I want to see how it works out, but there's a very good chance that I watch the first 20 minutes of this and be like, no, I can't do it. I can't believe it. My lived experience is so different, despite the fact that it's supposed to be like this overwhelming thing, that it's like, I can't believe it maybe. So I don't know. I want to watch it to see what happens. Maybe it'll be very interesting. Anyway, that's my bitching about. It's about anything where you happen to know a lot about the subject matter and then you sit down and watch it. Maybe that's why I like isekai, because it's like, I like isekai because I know nothing about what it'd be like to go to another world. But then, of course, the more isekai that you watch, the more you start to think about how other people in other positions would, or what you would do in those positions, then you would start to do it. So anyway. Doraemon, Nobita to Sora no Utopia. Did not watch this. Gridman Universe. I did not watch this. Ian will probably watch that, I'm sure. Kin no Kuni Mizu no Kuni. This looks very cute, and maybe I will watch it at some point. What's it come to? It's just on, there's no Netflix thing, there's nothing else. I might not ever watch it at one point, but there we go. Moving on. Metante Konen Haibara Ai Monogatari Kurogane no Mystery Train. Nope. Didn't watch that. Moving forward. Sasaki to Miyano Sotsugyo Hen. I didn't watch the series, so didn't watch that. Sokyo no Fafnir. I've never watched Fafnir to begin with. Behind the Line. Dynazenon. SSSS Dynazenon movie. Maybe Ian watched that. It's a Trigger thing as well. I don't know. There's the Gridman movie. Compilation film anyway. Maybe I could watch that and actually catch up on what goes on in Gridman without having to watch the entire thing. But moving on. Yokai Watch. Jimanyan versus Komasan Mange Dai Kesendanyan. And I did not watch that. It's just a saucer of ice cream parlor suddenly vanishes. What a weird idea for a thing. They must face off to determine which of the two shops. This seems like it's going to be about 10 minutes long. Whatever. It's a movie. Moving on. All right. Heather and I are watching Agretsuko. Aggressive Retsuko. We are watching we're watching season 5. We're about halfway through it, I think, right now. It's been very good. Retsuko's hard watch, I find, because I find it a hard watch sometimes because an episode can end up being very stressful, right? It can end up feeling like, oh my God, a bad thing is happening and I don't want the cute characters to undergo a lot of whatever. And seeing Retsuko under a lot of stress is stressful. And, but at least like in the previous episodes, her troubles have been, I get together with, I'm trying to find, or rather, I guess not trying to find a boyfriend, but she does find a boyfriend, but then it kind of all is like, that's not working out. But there's like another, then there's like the other one where she meets the guy who's like, the tech genius kind of dude, who is very friendly dude and nice enough, but he wants a certain thing out of the relationship and she doesn't, but they're trying to see what they can do about it. And she's not really sure how she fits into this whole thing. And I love all those kind of things. And that was actually, I liked that arc a fair bit because I just liked that feeling of she could just take the brass ring and just sit back and do whatever. She could decide that it's like, that's not who she is or what she wants to do with her life or what she wants to be. And she's not getting that. He's kind of like, I need you to, be available and be around when I want to spend time with you. But if you're working, I don't have that option. It's like, yeah, I can see how that would really screw up a relationship. So anyway, yeah. And as things have gone on, this season is way more complicated because it has less to do with her family and has more to do with Haida's family now. And that's actually kind of interesting. And it feels stressful. I don't know how it's going to work out yet. So anyway, Colors, didn't watch this. If this is what the entire movie looks like, there's a lot going on. Let's see here. Detarame na Sekai no Melodrama. Didn't watch that. Evangelion 3.0, 46 hours. I don't know what this means. It's a story of somebody. I haven't watched any Eva because after I finished the series and then after I finished Death and Rebirth and then End of Evangelion, I was like, done. Like I was like, okay. And that was rough. It was heavy to deal with. And when they said they're doing remakes, I was looking forward to the remakes because I was like, oh, good. Like that sounds amazing. That's going to it'll be more like we'll retell the story and we'll retell it in new ways. And the animation will look amazing. It'll all be like theatrical, all those kind of things. And I was like, okay, cool. But at a certain point, my enthusiasm for that kind of broke down. And I just kind of hit a point where I'm like, does it even matter to me personally if I watch more of it? And I just kind of felt like I can't get up I was like, well, because 1.0 came out and I'm like, well, we'll watch the 1.0 movie. And then like 2.0 came out and then 1.1 came out and I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, well, it's been remastered with whatever. I was like, well, okay, I should do that. Oh wait, but no, 2.1 is going to come out. Okay, I'm done. Like, I was just like, you know what? If you can't release it, your big re-release you've been waiting forever to do, and then there's like a 0.0 and a 0.1 and a 0.11 and all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, if you can't get it right on release, or you've never really been able to get it right, then I don't know if I have time to eat the story. I have no idea if I want to sit down and feast upon this cake because maybe it's not done yet. And I want to wait for it to be done. And so that I can just sit and watch it. And then I just hit a point where I'm like, I literally don't care anymore. I just literally don't care. There's people out there who are probably going to love it and enjoy it. That's fine. I'll remember watching TV series and being blown away by the movie and just having so many emotions during the movie and just being like, this is so fucking rough. I did not like how the movie ended. I didn't like how, there's other things I've liked that whenever bad things happen on that scale, like apocalyptic stuff happens, I just have a very bad time with it in the story. So we're moving on. Fuyu no Okurimono. Didn't watch that short. Kokushufudo season 2. Watch that immediately when it came out because it's 5 episodes. It's on Netflix and they're very short and they're just very easy to digest. I had a great time watching this. This is The Way of the House Husband, if you don't know what this is. Immortal Tatsu, who was a Yakuza of some renown, getting married and becoming a house husband while his wife works, and then adopting a lot of the same attitudes towards housework and as he does towards other things. And yeah, you'll watch this, you'll be like, where's all the animation? I'm like, yeah, I know. It's a lot of it is very slidey stuff and a lot of very simple whatever, but it's so fun, it's so dynamic. You just have to accept that it's a style, and that's rough, you know. Hidari pilot film. I think I watched the couple minutes or whatever this put out of they're like a fight, this wooden creature, this dude fighting things. I'm like, neat. I was like, that is a thing. I don't know if there's more to it. If there is, I kind of don't care because I watched the end of it. I'm like, great, done, moved on. Himitsu no Hana no Niwa. Didn't watch that. Hirano to Kagiura. Animated short with Sasaki to Miyano, which I didn't watch any of those, so I would have no idea what's going on. That's fine. Nagatoro-san got mini anime on the official Nagatoro Twitter account. If only I use Twitter. Oh, here we go. King Amusement Creative has it on the YouTube channel. I'll probably go check those out then if they have translations. Inu to Shonen, Dog and Boy. And as an experimental initiative to help ease the anime industry's labor shortage without improving working conditions. Do we all know what this is about? Hey, we thought what we do is because you can't afford to hire more people and we want to make more stuff. Like, just what a great fucking quote. Okay, we need to ease your labor shortage, but we're not going to improve working conditions. We need more people to work here, but we're not going to pay you more. And if we can pay you less, we're going to do that. So, hey, we're going to use AI to make images for all the backgrounds. Is that better? It doesn't matter if it's better or not. It's what's going to happen from now on. Moving on. Ito Junji Maniaku. I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't watch this. Caspi James says it's a summary of an industry in a series description. That was clearly written by somebody who thinks it's bullshit as well. So, Kagejitsu. I did not watch the Kagejitsu anime, so I wouldn't watch that either. Kaiko Sareta Hankoku Heishi. So, this is the mini anime for another thing I didn't watch. Kobayashi-san no Tsundere Koza. This is a mini anime series of Endo-kun and Kobayashi-san's thing. So, yeah, this is them talking about the thing in their club room. And now that you guys have all said, oh, it's a pretty good series, I guess maybe I'll have to think about this. Tsunlize. Is that what they're shortening it to? This whole thing is just Tsunlize? Lize? That's cool. All right, moving on. Kuromi's Pretty Journey. In this anime, Kuromi is traveling the world searching for her missing older sister, Romina. Throughout her journey, she gains companions, also brushes up against evil organizations. Seems like that might have been fun. I don't really know what it's about or how it's related to anything, but 21 episodes were made. Might have been shorts. Kyoki, Sanyaku, Naked Peak, pilot film. Oh yeah, I think I heard that was, where was that? Right. This I was not big on. I'm like, oh, mountain climbing anime? Maybe. Oh, Mythos of Cthulhu? No, that's okay. Lupin the Third versus Cat's Eye. I watched this. It was 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, which feels bad to say. If you haven't watched Cat's Eye, that's okay. But having watched Cat's Eye, and especially knowing how it ends, you would then know that this kind of takes place probably a little earlier in the series, because this Cat's Eye series ends at the end of, it's like, oh, we've wrapped everything up. And the main girl in Cat's Eye ends up getting married, I think, to the male counter interest. Anyway, Cat's Eye are 3 girls who steal shit. Lupin the Third is 3 boys who steal shit. There are some great moments. This is the thing that frustrates me. Cat's Eye has been like out of the public consciousness, I imagine, for like a very long time. What I wanted to see out of this series is them being amazing and really good at the stuff that they're doing. Too fast, it felt like we had them and Lupin come together, because they were both trying to steal the same things. They're trying to steal certain things because part of their story is that they're stealing art that used to belong or was made by their father. That's kind of the primary focus of Cat's Eye, the series, the manga, whatever. Lupin just steals shit because it's a thing to do. Now, we know Lupin and Goemon and Jigen are amazing. We have watched them for years. They have all sorts of series. They have all sorts of stuff they can do. I wanted to watch them have their moments, but by and large, I wanted to watch the girls have more of their moments. I wanted them to be able to be doing even more stuff with the things that they do. And there's points. It's like, but more at the beginning and then more at the end. And during the middle, it doesn't feel like they have enough to do or as much to do, which complicates things a bit. And then we also have to have reason to like split the groups up, because if we split the groups up, then we have chances for them to interact with each other, as opposed to just kind of running their own solitary whatevers. And I felt like my expectation was we were going to have 2 things working against each other until they kind of realize that they're both working towards the same thing at the end of the movie. And they just start that way and then immediately cross over, and you realize that, oh, there's way more going on here right now, but I kind of wanted there to be more of that. I wanted them to kind of work on their own so we could see more of the cool stuff they would do on their own. But it was all right. It did not amaze me. Moving on. Make My Day. No, did not watch that. Nekoto Wakai Sena. That's a weird looking, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Interesting. Not interesting enough for me to want to watch it though. Moving on. Pole Princess. Did I read the first chapter of this? Oh, it is original. Why do I feel like I saw a piece of this already? Was that maybe there was a PV or something? Maybe it was a PV. I don't know what to make of this. It's weird, right? Despite also being, the eroticism of pole dancing, but, put a 17-year-old in it. Now we can eliminate that, and we can definitely concentrate on just the sports side of it. So that's good. That's something you can do. You can say, hey, you know what? We can break out the thing. It's like, don't think of it as erotic. We can think of it as a sport, and we can try to concentrate on it that way. Sure. I don't know. God, I kind of want to watch a little of this to figure. I mean, if this is a movie, then it's a movie. Yeah, looks like it was a movie. Okay. I don't want to just jump into a movie because I'll end up watching the whole thing generally, but yeah. It's odd, right? Because it's like, I think about the Climbing Girls anime that I watched, which was very interesting because I don't know much about climbing, and so it was really interesting to get to see that. I had thought it was going to be a different show, but it was still really good, and still really learned a lot from watching it and got a sense of what's going on there. and that was a watching the athleticism and watching like I'm climbing, I'm doing things, I'm doing whatever. And I don't know, like this strikes me as the athleticism would be amazing, but will I buy it as much? Because I mean, they'd have to make it look really hard, and they'd have to make it look like, you're, because if they can work in the things where it's like, you're slamming your leg into this pole and then you go home and you're like bruises all up and down the side of your legs or on your arms or stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, I need to look after myself. I need to be more careful. I need to adjust whatever. The reason I mention all this is because Erica Moen did a thing on her comic. I think she did a article. She did a single comic on Ojoy Sex Toy talking about pole dancing, but talking about specifically that it's like, there's a studio that does that, but teaches it to people as like, this is a sport and this is a gymnastic kind of thing as well. And then she actually she was doing it and would every so often post pictures of like video of herself doing the routines. And you're just kind of like, Jesus, like watching I'm doing this, and watching somebody who's new to it be like, grab the pole and then flip yourself upside down and do this one thing. And just kind of really appreciating him, like, man, that seems like a lot of work. It seems like a lot of work. I don't think I could do that. I wonder if I could learn to do that. Like, really had those moments of like watching her do these things and just being like, yeah, there was nothing really like, I didn't walk away thinking anything was sexy about it. I just watched this thing where I'm like, you're just doing tricks. It's like doing parkour, but you're just in one place. Like you're grab a thing, flip upside down, grab this thing, grab onto it with my leg, put my hands out. And I'm like, yeah, wild. So yeah, it's, I definitely see why they made this. Cause also there is that prurient appeal. Don't get me wrong. Right. It's like, oh yes, it's pole dancing. We all know what that means. It's like, right. That'll get all those butts in the seats, but ultimately this is a sport, and I could see them doing it that way. So it's interesting. I don't know. Also high school sports things, I really hit or miss for me a lot of times. So I don't know if I want to be watching more high school sports stuff. Anyway. Oh, they did a cute little mini anime of Play It Cool Boys. I should dig that out. Those could be fun if I can find them anywhere. Saikyo Onmyoji Mini, that mini version of that thing we talked about earlier. Hey, look, Shingeki no Kyojin is getting a final season. This is probably, I don't know, part 6 of 13 or something. I have no idea. It's rolling on. Whatever. I don't give a shit about Attack on Titan. Sorry. I hope you enjoy it. Shinmai Renkinjutsu Shi no Tenpoke mini anime Onsen. Oh, is this the one? Yeah, didn't watch this, I don't think, and not gonna watch it. So moving on. Shumatsu no Valkyrie, second season. Didn't watch the first one. Slime Tachi no Idobata Kaigi. Slime Tachi no Idobata Kaigi. Anyway, moving on. Didn't watch that. Space Idol. Wow. Looks like a mobile game. Didn't watch that. Tentai Kansoku. Didn't watch that. Oh, music with Bump of Chicken. Tototsu ni Egypt Shin 2. Didn't watch that. Interesting. Didn't watch it. Tsunlise Mini. So there's another mini version. So there's the one that takes place in the club room, and there's the one that takes place in the video game. So you've got a couple options for mini stuff if you like Tsunlise. Let's see here. Umayuru, right? Uma Musume got a short animation spinoff. I don't know if I'll end up watching that or not. I still need to watch the second season of that. Might never get around to it. Vinland Saga Season 2. Let's just say this is also a mini anime. Let's say it's a bunch of like, it's this guy's head, but the body is only like about that big. That should be great. Watashi no hashtag haena kute. The character looks familiar. I did not watch this though. Oh yes. Takes place in the smart city envisioned by Kyocera. People express themselves through hashtags and aerial displays. Yume, who lacks self-confidence, starts with a special hashtag known as a rare tag. Minoru, who's senior, has multiple rare tags. Anyone else watch Platonic Chain back in the day? Vibes of that here. Anyway, moving on from that. I can't. That's it. That's done. So it's 6:39. We're going to take a quick break. Some stuff we watched, some stuff we didn't. Doodles, I will maybe check out the Egypt one. I'll think about it. If I can find it, I'll think about it. But I'm going to take that commercial break now. And you guys can sit tight for 3 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. I got to definitely refill my drink, and that might take a minute or so. So just, yeah, sit tight. I'm coming back with Spring. Commercial. Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to take the headphones off for this. It's weird. I feel like I need to have them on so I can hear what it is you're typing. It's very odd, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It is more of the anime roundup here. We're moving on to spring, though. Spring 2023. A reminder to everybody as well, if you're just joining us, the Welcome Aboard collection on store.loadingreadyrun.com by Moonbase Spacelines to help celebrate the launch of Moonbase Mark 6. The bundles and the pins may be sold out, but we are asking that if you are interested in buying one of those, go put your name, your email address on the list to be notified. That gives us an accurate count, or a more solid count, I guess, so we know whether we can actually make minimums on a second run of pins. The pins were already made, and I need to make more if we're going to sell more bundles. That's just kind of the long and the short of that. Anyway, that's how that is, and that helps us know you have that's going to help us make a better idea of what it is we're going to do. So please do that now. That will help us figure that out. And thank you to everybody so far who has purchased, who has pre-ordered any of the stuff that's on there, and has also bought other stuff on the store. There is a restock of more shirts coming. The hoodie one, I was surprised to find out that we ran out of hoodies, so I'm going to get on getting a hoodie reorder ASAP. And my hope is that we'll have everything sorted out soon so that people can actually order stuff all together. Just kind of waiting on getting that processed. Anyway, let's get off of that topic. Let's get into this topic, the thing that we are here for, with my giant hand coming past the camera. I don't want to just block the camera. That's rude. Right. Let's talk about spring 2023. All the stuff that is supposed to be coming out. First, in square brackets, Oshi no Ko. When a pregnant young starlet appears in Goro Amamiya's countryside medical clinic, that's very Doc Hollywood, the doctor takes it upon himself to safely and secretly deliver Ai Hoshino's child so she can make a scandal-free return to the stage. Okay, but no good deed goes unpunished. I hope that wasn't the cursing one. And on the eve of her delivery, he finds himself slain at the hands of Ai's deluded stalker, and subsequently reborn as Ai's child, Aquamarine Hoshino. The glitz and glamour of showbiz hide the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry, threatening to dull the shine of his favorite star. Can he help his new mother rise to the top of the charts, and what will he do when unthinkable disaster strikes? I don't know what he'll do, and I might never find out. All right, Alice Gear Aegis expansion from a video game. All right, moving on. Now, let's see here. Centuries ago, mankind abandoned planet Earth after the Vice. Oh no, here we go. A race of mechanical aliens drove them from their home into a life adrift in space. Looks pretty nice. Now resigned to starships forged to pieces of Earth's shattered moon. Oh, okay. The final hope for humanity lies in the hand of actresses. That's 2. Young women born with the ability to wield the only weapons that can harm the Vice. Alice Gears. Oh, that's 3. Mechanical suits that can finally turn the tide against the alien incursion. I guess let me know if it's okay. I don't know if I'm going to be into it. All right, moving on. Aono Orchestra. I heard something about this recently, actually. I think I saw ads for it. Maybe that was it. Hajime Aono was a prodigy violinist until he grew jaded with playing the violin due to his personal reasons. Now in his 3rd year of middle school, he struggles to decide his academic path. One day in school, he meets Ritsuko Akine, a hot-headed novice violinist who wants to enroll in a high school with a distinguished orchestra club. When he finds himself getting closer to Ritsuko and being brought back to the world of violinists, time starts moving for him again. This is the beginning of a youthful drama where sounds and hearts alike resound in harmony. Oh, this could be maybe nice. Kids who are already good at the thing that they do wanting to play music together. We'll see. I mean, sound euphonium, I was drawn to thinking that it would be like a lot more of, music. And for the music they did do, I did have a good time listening to it. Um, and you also don't really want, um, like, I don't know if I'd want to watch an anime that's just about, it's a concert band trying to be really good at what they do, right? Um, but maybe they don't go to, I've always said this, it's like I don't like the school music things where it's like we have to go to nationals, and if we're not at nationals, if we don't win nationals, then what the fuck were we even doing with our lives for 3 years? I'm like, I don't know. You were learning a great skill, you're learning how to entertain people, you're learning how to stand up on stage and not be nervous, there's a whole bunch of stuff you could learn, right? So whenever it's about people who are learning music for the first time, that's always very appealing to me. um Seeing this where it's like people who are already good, I'm interested to see where that kind of goes, but also it might just leave me flat. We'll see what happens. I mean, frickin' Chihaya Furu playing Karuta, didn't think that I would give a shit about Karuta, and yet Chihaya Furu made it very interesting and very dynamic as a sports anime. So yeah, this might be good. Let's say, hey, are you not going to work? There we go. Maybe watching. Oh, hell yeah. All right. Well, that was easy. This is a hard watch for me. Birdie Wing, Golf Girl Story, Season 2. Birdie Wing's a hard watch for me because it feels tense all the time. So, we'll see. Watch more of this. I hope it's good. Because it's just like, I don't want it to be tense all the time. I want it to be fun. But if it's, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yes. Okay. You are all not going to understand this or like this or whatever. Maybe some of you will. Maybe some of you are already reading this. I got this as a rec off the Something Awful forums a while ago and started reading it. I'm like, oh, this is an interesting take. And then it like was kind of, it moved on from there. But let's read the thing. This is Boku no Kokoro no Yabayatsu, or The Dangers in My Heart. Fascinated by murder and all things macabre, Kyotaro, who is much shorter than Yamada over here, way shorter than they make this look, actually. Kyotaro daydreams of acting out his twisted fantasies on his unsuspecting classmates, but an encounter... But to be honest, he's thinking about murder anyway, not sexy. He's thinking about murder. So anyway, an encounter with Ana Yamada, so Yamada here, Ana, the gorgeous class idol. Yeah, okay. Lights a spark. She's a semi-professional model. They're in middle school, I think, as well. I think they're in middle school, which is what makes this also really weird. It's like the last year of middle school, so they're like grade 9, looking to go to. I think that's where this takes place, which makes it even weirder. But anyway, so she's like supposed to be 14. Maybe they've aged her up. I don't know. But in the manga, I'm pretty sure she's 14. It's a classic tale of an antisocial boy falling in love for a popular girl, but neither are who they appear to be at first glance. Will Kyotaro and Ana defy their expectations of each other and of themselves? So this is odd. So I read it because I was like, well, this is interesting. It's a story about this kid who has this like dark fixation, very chunibyo, actually, as Benobi brings up. It's chunibyo here, the eighth grader syndrome. The chu is middle. That's how that kind of relates to like the to middle school syndrome. It's like it's because it's what happens to you when you're in like grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, kind of where you're like, I have a darkness in my eye. I should have covered this one because I don't have my contact lenses, and on the other one, this eye is all blurry. It's because I have secret powers. That kind of, or that kind of idea. Anyway, he's given to all these things of like, I want to do dark things, and that will, yes. I don't think he's really that kind of kid, but it's where it's where your fascinations lead you sometime, right? That when you're in middle school, or when you're at any time, it's like reading about, making mummies and stuff, and we're getting really into that. It's like he just happened to be into like, oh yeah, serial killers and like the dark stuff that goes on there. Not really the occult, but he's kind of setting that up with himself, but it doesn't. it doesn't terribly ring true the longer you read the manga. Um, and the issue is that he focuses on Anna because she is kind of the center of attention in class, and she doesn't really. She's the she don't know she's beautiful kind of idea. Like she's just kind of having fun with her friends and having a good time and everything. But again, all the boys definitely fixate on her. But he hates the fact that she's popular and that, so he's always concentrating on her as like, that's where I will do my dark business. And that will, then I will end the hypocrisy of, I don't know, it's all the bullshit maybe not you, maybe not me, but they write into these stories. But there is an interaction they have at one point that starts to change up how he feels about that. And it's really a lot about he's twisting the fact that he likes her at some level into this dark feeling. And when he starts to realize that he doesn't know how to approach all that and starts to kind of like bounce back and forth with this of like, what am I actually, he's more just trying to figure out his feelings towards her. And what makes it interesting is what I think makes the manga really interesting is once you kind of get out of that business where you start to see them like strike up a friendship, he realizes that he's weird and creepy. Like he knows that. And that is, I think, also the thing that keeps him at a distance from her. She thinks he's really interesting because he is different than a lot of other people, but he also is sweet in a way, but he's kind of like really awkward and shy. And I mean, it kind of gives you a sense of Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. These have a similar kind of thing of the boy that nobody notices, but one of the girls notices him and thinks he's interesting as a result, that there might be something there. And that's very appealing in a shonen romance. What if you were the boy who nobody notices and then the cutest girl in class that you happen to really like all of a sudden takes a notice of you, and how do you deal with that? Does she notice you because she likes you, or does she notice you because she thinks you're interesting, or just thinks you're like a toy or a pet or something else? Like, what lies can you tell yourself about yourself that will kind of make that ring truer in your head, right? And this is a manga, and this is a show, hopefully, that follows the manga pretty well, that will kind of give us more of that. And I think the manga is really fun and interesting, ultimately, like, especially as we've gotten over the first little hump of that darkness thing. I kept reading because I'm like, I don't know what this is going to be. But it feels like it's not supposed to be, I just turn around and like murder this girl or whatever. And it isn't. And I think that's important to know going into watching it, because if you think that it's going to be the bad end, hey, anime has done bad ends to us before, right? So yeah, I think it's going to be good because I'm already really familiar with the story. And I think it's cute as hell to watch two people, especially really young people, figure out they like each other and get together in that way, and see how long it takes and kind of the twists and turns it takes to get there. But yeah, anyway, kind of a sucker for that. Moving on. Bosanimal follows the daily adventures of a group of animals that live at their own pace in the human world, even if it can be bit messy and lazy at time. So just cute, fluffy hamster, cat, bunny, Sakura, Kyashi, and Gate. I don't know what that one is. Moving on. Chibi Godzilla no Gojira. Chibi Gojira no Gyakushu. This could be about anything. My friend Anna's probably going to like it. Moving on. Dead Mount Death Play. It's a showdown for the ages as a legendary hero takes on the corpse god Necromancer, but when the dust settles, something isn't quite right. In the final moments of their epic confrontation, are they swapped? Oh, okay. The corpse god's final cabinet shot was wholly unexpected. Reincarnation magic. Across space and time, a boy named Poka Shinoyama awakes feeling not quite himself. Who could have expected that the climactic battle between good and evil would turn out like this? I don't know. I don't think I'm that interested. So. Dr. Stone, New World. I will watch that. I'm interested to see how this continues to develop. Dr. Stone's really hard for me because of the heavier shonen stuff I don't give a shit about. The science stuff I love. I just want to watch him rebuild the world. I don't want anyone to have to go to war. I think in a way, I think Dr. Stone, that whole idea, right? I think whatever his name is, I forget his name now. I think he knows that he could do so much more than having to build shit to fight people with if he could just get a move on with it, wake up a bunch of people, and then work on rebuilding society so we can support people and then keep waking people up to have them contribute to that. It's hard. I mean, that's even, you want to talk about that being weird? Hey, let's say that you wake up somebody because you're like, they'll be very handy to do whatever. And they live for like 10 or 15 years. And they're like, hey, I'd actually like to wake up so-and-so. And you go wake up whoever it is that they're interested in, like their parents. And all of us, and their parents come to life. You're like, oh, great, we're back. And it's like, yes, but now I am your age, parents. Like I'm now as old as you are because I have been awake all this time and I've aged and you have not aged. And now we are all the same age together. Weird kind of experience, right? So, but yeah, I'd just like to see him really, like, I love the Dr. Stone to me seemed like a thought experiment, and I hate that it had to be a shonen anime built around a thought experiment, because I just want it to be like, so then what would you do first? I'd do this. Well, then what would you do next? I'd do this. And then based on that, what would you do? Well, I'd probably do this thing next. And there's that sense of, well, because they had enemies, that meant that they had to buckle down and really they had to make cell phones, right? And it's like, no. I mean, they did make radios, right? But they didn't have to do any of that. That was that has probably slowed down the whole process of pushing the science forward, the development forward. But anyway, I will watch the next one. I'm curious to see what happens, and we'll see where it goes. Duel Masters Ween, Duel Wars, nope. Eden Zero second season, didn't watch the first. Edomai Elf. Takamimi Shrine has an unusual resident, Elda, an ancient elf who's obsessed with video games. I've read this manga. Oh crap, I know what this is. The shrine's teenage attendant, Koito Koganei, Koito Koganei, keeps this reclusive otaku well supplied with energy drinks and junk food. Even though she loves 100%ing her games, Elda has duties to attend to, and Kogane is bound and determined to make this otaku elf fulfill them. It'll just take an offering or two to bribe, convince Elda to put down a new game. I'll watch this. Yeah. I like anything with Japanese gods and stuff. I mean, I know that she's wise beyond her ears. That's good, Aikatana. If I remember correctly how the manga goes, she is technically enshrined in this shrine, and she's an ancient elf, but she's enshrined in the shrine because she's being treated as the resident god, despite the fact that she's an elf. She just happens to have been living forever and ever, kind of idea. And so it's like, we know that the people here know she's an elf. Everybody knows that she's an elf, but she's just kind of the local god as a result. And so they, she just likes to, I do like also how the shrine has adopted her face and her ears, as, this is the look at, you can see the hair there and everything else. I like this, like, this is the symbol of our shrine now. So I can't remember if she comes out to greet people or not, but doesn't really matter. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be good. Gunma-chan season 2. Didn't watch the first Gunma-chan, so I probably lose the plot of the story, especially who this big green guy is. Isekai de cheat skill. Oh no. O te ni shita ore wa genjitsu sekai o mo muso suru. Level up wa jinsei o kaite. A mysterious door stands open. That's a big sword. It's a big devil dude. Mysterious door stands open, inviting a boy who's been brutally bullied all his life to take a courageous step forward into the unknown. On the other side, he finds a horde of priceless artifacts and a world as filled with magic as it is with monsters. Ooh, so it's an isekai, but it's by choice? Sure. The most shocking revelation, however, is that he can bring whatever he wants with him back to Earth. When he returns to Earth, it won't be long before this double life changes him forever. I'm guessing that's as things go on, like he can constantly go back to Earth if he wants to. Okay. Probably won't watch that. Isekai, one turn kill, Nei-san. Oh, that sounds promising. Ane Dohan no Isekai Seikatsu. Isekai twice in the title. Ane Dohan no Isekai Seikatsu Hajimemashita. It wasn't me who was the strongest in another world, but my sister? As a result of an accident in the real world, Asahi Ikusaba is transported to another world. He tries to enjoy the different world he imagined, but his abilities prove to be the weakest. Just as he's about to get attacked by a vicious monster, Asahi's doting elder sister Mayu comes into his rescue, and saves him. Chasing after Asahi's love, Mayu too ended up in the same world as him with the strong. Oh, we have a brother complex. With the strongest of abilities and cheat skills, the fantasy tale of the strongest eldest sister with a brother complex. I just said that. And the younger brother who just wishes that she would leave him alone and get a normal fucking relationship begins. Not ecchi. Somehow romance. Boy, I hope this, like it says elder sister, and I'm like, oh, but we're not related by blood. And I think we're just giving up on that this day. We're related by fucking everything. Who cares? Look, you're like, why does this have the romance tag? The birth rate in Japan is incredibly low right now, and we are going into desperate measures. Moving on. A third one, Isekai Shoukan wa Nidome desu. There once was a hero. I liked reading it that way instead of there was once, but anyway. There once was a hero from Nantucket who was summoned to another world and said, fuck it. However, the man was caught in a trap, then was forcibly returned to his, I don't know what rhymes with trap. Pad? No, it needs to be something else. On top of that, he had to start over as a baby. Didn't rhyme, but whatever. This is a story of a crazy journey to another world where a former hero was reincarnated into a slightly gloomy high school student and is resummoned back to that same world. There's a lot of room to work with once a second time, huh? Whistle, whistle, whistle. All right. I have no idea. It's I don't think I'll watch it, but that's fine. Isekai wa smartphone to tomonite. Like, it's not all of them start with isekai now. Anyway, that literally should just be a tag from now on. It should just be down there. Second season of that, if you watched it. Isekai wa smartphone to harem. So, yeah, great. Jigokuraku. Okay. This looks like it's going to be violent. I don't know if it's going to be my jam as a result, but let's see what we got here. The Edo period is nearing its end. Gabimaru, a shinobi, formerly known as the strongest in Iwagakure, who is now a death row convict, is told he will be acquitted and set free if he can bring back the elixir of life from an island that is rumored to be the Buddhist Pure Land Sukhavati. Oh, interesting. In hopes of reuniting with his beloved wife, Gabimaru heads to the island along with the executioner Yamada Asaemon Sagiri. Upon arriving there, they encountered other death row convicts in search of the elixir of life, as well as a host of unknown creatures, eerie man-made statues, and the hermits who rule the island. Can Gabimaru find the elixir of life on this mysterious island and make it back home alive? Seems like Death Game-ish. I mean, Jigokuru is hell right there, so probably Hell Island or Hell World or whatever, Hell Land. Hell's Paradise. Excellent. All right. Gokuraku. That's top fucking pun. Jigoku and Gokuraku. A lot of people will, when you sit into an onsen or whatever, you'll hear people in anime go, Gokuraku. They're talking about how lovely and it's like paradise being in this thing. Anyway, move on from that. Not my jam. Yes! Jijo Shiranai Tenkosei ga Gui Gui Kuru, or the The something transfer student is assertive. Oh, hey, Shoko, Komi-san. My apologies. Welcome, Komi-san. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. I really enjoy your series. So I've been reading the manga for this, and it's top freaking notch. The PVs are fun too to watch, even if you can't read or understand what's going on in them. But this is our protagonist. She is a darling. Nishimura Akane is a black sheep in her class, and not a day passes without her classmates picking on her. I know, right? How could you do that? Oh, she's so cute. But Takada Taiyo is new and has no clue why they would treat her that way. Will his straightforward nature become a ray of sunshine in Nishimura's gloomy days? Let their wholesome story bring you back to the carefree times of your youth. Think of it this way. Everybody in class calls her Shinigami. They all call her the Reaper. And Takada-kun here shows up and he's like, that is such a rad nickname. Why do you call her the Reaper? Well, because she'll curse you and cause bad things to happen to you. What are you talking about? Why are you asking this? That's so you can curse people. That's so rad. We need to be friends. He is the best. And if all kids were like him, kids would have such an easier time in school and other places. Raise your children to be like this kid. He's so good. He is great. And she's just a sweet cinnamon roll. She's working so hard and she doesn't want to be made fun of. And he's just so nice to her and it's so great. So yeah, I really love the anime, and it's all elementary school. So it's like just the purest kind of, friendship and love kind of thing going on. It's great. So anyway, moving on. As Defrost says, but like for real, why would you piss off the person who can curse you? I know, right? That's the whole thing. You wouldn't want to do that. Anyway, Kaminaki Sekkai no Kami-sama Katsudo. I'm guessing this is another single dad manga from the looks of these two. Let's see. As heir to a cult leader, Yukito centers his life around the mysterious goddess Mitama. But everything changes after he's killed during a ritual gone wrong. Oh no. To his surprise, Yukito is reborn into a world with no concept of God. And in this world, life and death are decided by the imperial state. As Yukito fights to protect his new village, someone from his past life lends a helping hand. I wouldn't have put the ecchi tag on this. Even looking at everybody who's in this, I wouldn't have done that. But okay, I'm probably not going to watch this though. Not really my jam. Oh, you look really, really familiar. Kanojo ga koushaku te ni itta ryu. After a mysterious death, Park Yun-ha enters the world of a novel. Okay, so this is a manhwa, or a light novel, from Korea. She's revived as a minor character, Raeliana Macmillan, who is to be poisoned to death by her own betrothed. Wow, that sucks. You die and then you die again immediately. In order to break up with her dangerous fiancé, she offers a surreptitious deal to the male protagonist of the novel, Noah Win-Knight, but winds up romantically with other men who are not part of the plan. Noah Win-Knight, of inescapable but suspicious charm, honest Justin Shamal, who loves only one person, himself probably, or Adam Taylor, for whom you have a soft spot for no reason whenever you see him. Wait, hang on. Wait, why did you change the pronoun here? Yes. Anyway, will Raeliana successfully get out of this crisis and create a new ending for herself? Who will be the one that will join Raeliana in her new ending? I actually don't know. Apparently, lots of people like this. A comedy, fantasy, mystery, romance. And I kind of like the combination of all those things. I don't know. Why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's Mansion? If it has thick bordered roses and lots of spinning in dresses from the top down, then maybe I will think about watching this, because boy, I miss that. That ending song was a banger too. Kawaii Crisis. 2 cute crisis. Cafe Nyande. Look at all the cute things that are around here. Invading alien. You know what? If you had paid me, Beej, I will give you $1,000 to guess how this starts. Though I would never ever have landed on those 2 words. That's fantastic. Invading alien Liza Luna wants nothing more than to destroy planet Earth after she gets in a little sightseeing first. But her travels soon take her to a cat. That's why you should never travel and take stuff in. It's just you should just blow up the shit you need to blow up. This is like the equivalent of monologuing. But her travels soon take her into a cat cafe where the furry felines inside invade her heart just as surely as Liza invaded Earth. Destroying the world won't be so easy now that she's discovered the joys of kitty cats. Yeah, okay. I'll give this a try because it sounds cute. I don't know if it has staying power, but I will give it a try. So anyway, Kido Senshi Gundam, Kido Senshi Gundam. What did I knock over? Oh no! I knocked over DualShock of some number. DualShock. Kido Senshi Gundam. Suisei no Ketchup Season 2. The second season of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. AS 122, an era where we know what this is. If we have all watched, thank you, Rock Pusher. Yes, time to see where we go after that banger of an ending. Oh, Lemina, season 1 ending hit so good, so I'm looking forward to the pickup on this. Yes, you guys are really nailing it. Good job. Look at all the people. Feels like I don't know why it doesn't feel like a Gundam series seeing that poster. I feel like there's something else that has this feeling, but I mean Gundam always has a ton of people, I guess, in it anyway. Right. So we're doing Soletta's back, Miorine's back. It's been 2 weeks since this incident Planet Quetta. That's fine. I'm just going to mark that I'm watching this. Season 2, yeah, we're watching this. We'll see how it goes. I am really like I want to enjoy this. I want it to be even more Revolutionary Girl Utena. I want the Yuri to hit harder. I'm hoping we find our way to all of the things that I really like. I'm wanting to see out of this, but even if it doesn't, I'll say that after the ending of the season 1, I am definitely interested in seeing what happens in season 2, of what happens after that. But in a way, I almost want to just bank it and then try to watch it like several at a time. But we'll see. We'll see. Kimetsu no Yaiba Katana Kaji no Satohen. Adaptation of the Swordsmith Village arc. If you're into swords, here's your Kimetsu no Yaiba for that. Oh, no shit. Oh, wow. Okay. How are we gonna do this? Kimi wa Hokago Insomnia. Anyone else reading this manga? This is the mangaka's done a few other things as well. One of which is there's the one about the woman who runs the shrine, the local shrine, and has cats, and then her like younger cousin who's like high school age moves in to live with her for whatever reason. I really like their style. The mangaka who does this, I don't know what it is about their style, but I really like it. Which is odd because it's there are other mangakas whose style I like even more, but there's something about this when I see it, I'm like, I know this. It feels familiar. Maybe that's why. Ganta Nakami is a high school student who suffers from insomnia. One day he meets Isaki Magari, a girl with the same condition. Is that her name? Isaki Magari? Was that really her name? Anyway, a strange but special relationship forms as they share a secret and catch up on their sleep in the school's abandoned observatory. So what they're showing here is an outside observatory. The two of them are sitting down here. There's actually the school has an internal observatory on top of the school, like a dome with a thing in it, whatever. They both like Isaki ends up she ends up there kind of just because she needs to find a place to nap. He keeps napping at his desk, and eventually he finds the observatory himself, and he walks in and stumbles upon her having a nap, and then realizes, oh wait, we're both just really tired. And they kind of try to understand what's going, like what is this place and whatever. Then they eventually decide, you know what we should do is we should form the astronomy club again so that we can just have the observatory so we can come here and sleep when we need to catch up and get a nap or whatever. We'll come here and do that. And the manga's really sweet. It's and it is very much, it's very much high school slice of life, slow burn romance. And I will say right now that Isaki has health conditions. I'm just going to put that out there right now because we don't really know what that's going to mean. But I'm going to let you know that now so you're not like, oh God, you're having your heart torn out later or something like that, because we don't know where that's going or what that means exactly. But we know that's like an underlying thing. So I'm just letting you know that as a thing. I don't even know how serious they are. So we just know that that's dropped at one point. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? So anyway, but it's very sweet and it's lovely, and it's the two of them have a lovely effect on each other. And I would say pick up the manga if you want to, but if you really wanted to watch this, like watch a couple episodes and see if you want to watch how far this goes through, because I don't think they're going to actually finish the whole story. There's lots going on in the story. I don't know if they would end up skipping stuff to kind of try to fit like the two of them getting together or anything like that. But we'll see. The manga is very slowly paced, which feels good. And if you're on Manga Dex anyway, go look it up and read the first few chapters and see if you like the pace of it, or maybe you'll, enjoy what happens here. I see Terra Spidomorph Port, so they might rush it like Horimiya. Well, guess what we're getting soon? They are adapting more Horimiya manga, adapting the stories that didn't get told. So I think that's what happens when you end up rushing something to be like, we got to make it all fit in the one thing. It's like, it was still a really good anime. We are going to get more of it, apparently. They're going to adapt stories that happen in the in-between times, which will make it interesting. If you wanted to watch it chronologically, then you could slide the stuff in, like if you wanted to rewatch at any point. But that's not this season, I don't think. That's much later season, So I'm excited for our after-school insomnia. Kizuna no Allele. This is a story about the bonds between girls. Kizuna Ai appeared like a comet in the virtual world, becoming massively popular in the blink of an eye. I don't see her here anywhere. After winning the Lapin d'Or, the highest honor of the Virtual Grid Awards, 5 years in a row, she disappeared as quickly as she came. Several months have passed since then. Aiden Academy is a school that... This feels like we're trading on this to get to here. And it seems like that's what we are indeed doing. Several months have passed since Kizuna Ai. School specialists in training new talent who will make their debut in the virtual world. Their students, each with their hopes and dreams, work hard every day. I want to be a virtual artist just like I. A young girl named Miracle enrolls in Aiden Academy with this conviction in her heart. There she meets... Can I please just scroll down? There she'll meet all kinds of people, and make wonderful new memories with them as they each pursue their dreams. So, VTuber anime about VTubers. So... I think the idea, Tide Hollowcat saying my brain is trying to figure out how this relates to genetics. I think it's that they all share the being VTubers. They all share the kind of genetics of being VTubers, right? It's like we all came from the same place, from Kizuna Ai, and we all want to. So we're all sharing that kind of. We're inheriting those genetics somehow. I think it's what they're going for. Yeah, 0 tags so far. I guess nobody knows what this is going to be about, but I don't think I'm going to watch it. I'm not entirely interested in VTubers as an overall, like a larger thing. I was hoping last year for Desert Bus, actually, because since Zeta was remote, that we could try to see if there are any VTubers who were interested in being on, but I didn't ask in time. And so we were unable to reach out in time to anybody who'd be able to be on. So that'd be fun to have them on as a guest for a couple hours, since we're all remote anyway. But anyway, moving on. Kono Subarashi Sekai ni Bakuen wo. This feisty young wizard will stop at nothing to master a spell that saved her life. Explosion. Everyone liked Megumine from the original Konosuba? Well, she's getting her own series. The greatest genius of the Crimson Magic Clan has chosen to devote her studies to the powerful offensive magic used by her mysterious savior. Then one day her little sister finds a black kitten in the woods, but this cat isn't just a new furry friend. She's the key to awakening a dark god. So there you go. More Konosuba and focusing specifically on Megumine, who people really like. So buy lots of merchandise. Oh, cool. Excellent. I didn't know this was coming. I was going to talk previously about, hey, you know about like dark-haired girls who become OP in the world they move into, and they kind of just run the whole premise, and it's like, that's fine because you get to do everything. Kuma 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 Bear is what I was kind of thinking of there. So Kuma 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 Bear Punch is very cute. I'm glad to see getting a second season. I liked the first one. I'm still reading the manga for it. And yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it continues to be good. Oh, that's cute. For an April Fool's joke, they said the show was going to become Usa 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 Rabbit for Easter and posted art for it. That's cute. Takahata is doing VTuber stuff now, I believe, yes. All right, moving on. Mahou Shoujo Magical Destroyers. Set in a dystopian near future where otaku culture in Japan has been obliterated by a mysterious organization known as SSC. Interesting start. Magical Girl Destroyers follows the misadventures of Otaku Hero, a young revolutionary who loves otaku culture, and Anarchy, Blue, and Pink, a trio of magical girls who admire him. I'm guessing that's our magical girl there, or that's our Mahou. No, that's the Otaku Hero there. Together, they struggle to create a world where you can say what you like about what you like as much as you like. A world where you can say what you like about what you like as much as you like. That's literally this show. I don't think that means I'm going to watch this, but yeah, all right. There's seems like the three down there. There's Pink, I'm guessing that's Blue, and that's Anarchy. Roll back up a second. Yep. I don't know. It just says Mahou Shoujo. I feel like it should also have comedy because it seems like that's what they're going for here, but whatever. Oh, yes. Mahotsukai no Yome, Season 2. The Ancient Magus Bride, Season 2. Okay, I have my complaints. We'll get into those in a second, but I am looking forward to watching this. This is a definite watch for me. So we're getting a second season of this. And it is going to... this is the college arc. I had a problem with the college arc. I've kind of liked what they did, though, because how am I going to explain this? I'm looking forward to this. I ended up liking the college arc a bit. I don't want to say a lot, but a bit. The complicated feelings I have about the college arc is that this show didn't start out with Chisei, who is her right there, the slave Ega. She did not go to school. Elias didn't say you need to go to school. There was no sort of school kind of things going on. She's like 16, 17 years old by this point. There's never any this kind of like, you should go to school, you should learn to do whatever. But through the people they've been meeting, eventually came out that it's like, maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to go to school. The weird thing is that everybody who goes to school is a sorcerer. That's how they've learned their magic, is through sorcery. Chisei's the only one there who's learned her magic through being a magus, who's like basically learning from Elias and like trying to control her magic and stuff. And she's had way more interesting adventures, I think, than any of the other kids at the school. But all these kids have, the thing that I kind of do like about it is that all these kids are from their own, like this is Lucy Webster. She's from House Webster. Not like the schools have houses, but that she's from House Webster. That's the family Webster. And that some of these kids are from sub houses, like they are basically houses that work for the main house or whatever, and they're all have their own little thing going on. Chisei comes here, she just wants to make friends and like learn some stuff and like get through this whole thing to be like, maybe I'll actually learn better how to control my powers and learn more about how this all magic thing works and all that kind of stuff. Elias is like, you know what, then just to be sure this all goes the way it's supposed to be going, I'm going to show up too, and I'm just going to be a teacher. And she's like, be fucking great if you didn't. Like, I know you want to be here because you miss me and everything, but maybe if you weren't. And it's like, no, but I kind of need to be here. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll accept that. And there's a lot going on at this school that's a much larger problem that all the kids end up getting involved in it ultimately. And the nice thing is that when we get to the end of the arc, it seems like what's come of this is that Chisei ends up in the manga. Chisei ends up with some more people she knows, some more friends she knows that are more her age, and that it doesn't seem like anyone's going back to college anytime soon. And that's kind of like why when it feels like I'm spoiling stuff. It's not. Like, I mean, everybody goes to school and it ends, but a lot of times you read a story, it's like, when are we going to get out of school? Like, it's been 300 chapters and everyone's still going to school. This is like, we go to school and then we are done going to school. And I'm like, I can take a breath from that. I can feel like that's no longer going to be, needs to be a part of the story. I felt like we were leaning into going to school because maybe the mangaka was like, I don't really know what I want to do next, but probably was inspired to be like, well, I got to do something with Chisei. She needs to do something that's interesting. What should I do? It's hard to let her meet people when she lives in like a cottage alone with Elias all the time. Oh, I know. I'll write her into going to school. She can meet lots of people there. I can make up a bunch of new characters. And for me, that's frustrating because I'm like, you don't always have to do school focused shit in a manga that's not about school, but everyone always seems to want to fit that in for some reason, and it frustrates me. But it's a neat arc. I'm interested to see how they'll adapt it. I think the manga's pretty good. Like, I mean, I really enjoy reading the manga. I think it has to definitely be your taste. And I didn't think that this would be my taste. It has kind of been my taste. So I continue to read it. Maybe I'm reading part of it just still because it's also a momentum, right? So we'll see. Mashul, magic and muscle. All right. This is a world of magic. This is a world where magic is casually used by everyone. In a deep, dark forest in this world of magic, there is a boy who is single-mindedly working out. His name is Mash Bernadette, and he has a secret. He can't use magic. All he wanted was to live a quiet life with his family, but people suddenly start trying to kill him one day, and he somehow finds himself enrolled in magic school. There he sets his sights on becoming a divine visionary, the elite of the elite. Will his ripped muscles work against the best and brightest of the wizarding world? The curtain rises on this off-kilter magical fantasy in which the power of being Jack crushes any spell. So I have a big problem with more of this shit. I feel like I'm just always watching this. We watched the PV, and Heather and I did, because I was like, I got to see what this is. At no time, for about 3 seconds, it seemed like a comedy. And then the rest was just action, 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 action. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. I was hoping this was going to be a comedy. It's very frustrating that it really feels like it's going to be way more action than anything else. That's not what I want to watch. The manga is 99% comedy for sure. That's fantastic. They did not because I was like, man, I love the PV we watched didn't explain what the concept was. It just showed him in a forest working out, lifting incredible weights. And it's like, I love this idea that this guy might be just strong enough that he can just punch magic and just make it go away, right? And I'm like, I love this. I want to watch that kind of idea. I want to watch them completely deconstruct this. But then I watched it and I'm like, it just seems like way too serious. And I don't think I'm going to care, because then more magic starts getting used. I'm like, I want how heavy are the dumbbells you lift kind of comedy, right? And if this is going to be more like One Punch Man, then I mean, that's fine. I fell out of watching One Punch Man because I guess I want it to be more comedy than it is. But even though it's still, I think, very funny, I think that I want it to be more funny all the time, as opposed to kind of the ping pong between the action and the comedy thing. I think maybe it lost me there. So I don't know if I'll watch this, but I guess if you like One Punch Man, this is probably going to be that kind of thing. If you like One Punch Man, you might also like this. Megami no Cafe Terrace. Hayato Kasukabe has been accepted to Tokyo U Todai on his first try. Receiving news of his grandmother's death, he returns to his childhood home, Cafe Terrace Familia. for the first time in 3 years to find 5 strange girls there who claim to be grandma's family. Hayato's unexpected life in a seaside town with these 5 girls. Why even say that he went to Todai? It's just like Hayato Kasukabe moved back to his childhood home after his grandmother died. Whatever. Hayato's unexpected life in a seaside town with these 5 girls of fate. Girls of fate begins here. Ecchi, you say? Great. Have a good time, I guess. Maybe it's good. Who knows? Mix. The fact that they don't even put... I'm sorry, I was going to say, the fact they don't even put me into the poster, because let's be honest, that's what this is all about. It's about, I am the one who is looking at the girls, and so I am the character. It is me. I am the man who went to Todai on his first try. I am here. Anyway. Mix, Meisei Story second season, Nidome no Natsu Soro Mukoe. I didn't watch Mix. Moving on. My Home Hero. A lot of people missing from the other side of that. Tetsuo Tosu, an ordinary salaryman, discovers his daughter, Reika, has been physically abused by her boyfriend, Matori Nobuto. Unusual start. Trying to learn more about him, Tetsuo uncovers Matori's scheme to extort money from Reika's wealthy grandparents and finds out he is a member of a crime syndicate with a history of murdering his former girlfriends. Very unusual start. Filled with rage and fear at the thought of Reika being in danger, Tetsuo ends up killing Nobuto and with the help of his wife Kasen, successfully disposes of the body. Now as the members of the syndicate begin to question Nobuto's sudden disappearance, Tetsuo and Kasen must work together to ensure the safety of their daughter and prevent her from getting involved in the predicament any further. Action drama thriller. Yeah, probably not going to be for me. Yeah. Moving on. Niehime to Kimono no O. I will be watching this. And you might wonder why. Well, because I'm reading this. The king of the beasts and demons, that's this guy here, regularly receives female human sacrifices to eat in order to assert the dominance of his people over the human race. However, for the 99th sacrifice, the human girl is brought to the capital. Sarifi, that's her here. The human girl brought to the capital, Sarifi, intrigues the Beast King. In fact, she isn't afraid of him or any other beast and even accepts her death without begging or crying, as she has neither home nor family to return to if she were released. Very just an orphan and ended up, on the thing. Anyway, the king finds her intriguing. Yeah, we've already said that. And lets her stay at his side as his consort despite being human, which freaks the fuck out of everybody else. All the other beasts are not okay with this. Just pointing that out. This is the story of how Sarifi will become the queen of the demons and beasts. This is interesting. It's weird. This is not like Sleepy Princess. Lysander, this is not like Sleepy Princess. Does not have a comedy tag because it isn't a comedy. It has its tiny little moments and stuff like that, but it's not a comedy. Yeah, she's it's interesting. She gets pulled into this thing and the beast is like, "You're not afraid of me." And it's like, and she's like, "No, just I have nothing to live for anyway." And he's like, "That's interesting. I wish to know more about that." So yeah, it is interesting and it grows more, like, especially as their relationship grows, it becomes, there's a lot more going on. Moving on. Opus Colors. No, probably not going to watch this. Look at all the bubbles. Otanari ni Ginga. This looks promising. Ever since their father died, Ichiro Kuga has struggled to support his 2 younger siblings on nothing but a small inheritance and passion for drawing manga. But it's becoming harder to keep up with his growing responsibilities and deadlines, especially after his last 2 assistants quit to follow their dreams. Just as he's nearing his breaking point, the beautiful and scarily competent Shiori Goshiki applies to become his new assistant, but there's something almost otherworldly about Goshiki, and soon Kuga finds his reality turned upside down when she suddenly declares them engaged to marry. Okay, so this is Crane Wife, right? This is Crane Wife is what this is. All right, I'm watching this. This looks cute. I like yeah. Sure, comedy, romance, manga, assistant, and probably she's going to be weird in some way. So, yeah. Osama Rankingu, Yuki no Takarabako. Really? We're getting more. This was, oh man. Oh, I don't know what to do. I didn't know this was coming. Osama ranking, the ranking of kings. Oh my god. Goblin Myra's asking, should they watch it? It's really good, but it feels like a lot. Like as you watch it, the it's interesting. I go far as to say that it's like I don't know if we've seen anything quite like it. The way the story is told, the way all the characters are complicated. It's everyone has multiple motivation, motivations, different ways to do different things, but it can hurt. Um, as you learn new things, it hurts more too. I like to watch it and then watch like Ben will be saying, do you need a palate cleanser? It's like I like to watch this and like watch a comedy after that too. It's not dark. It's not going to it might make you sad in places, but it probably more melancholic than anything else. And you feel good for Bocchi here. You're like, yeah, do your thing. It's but it's yeah, it makes you feel a feeling that you don't normally get out of a lot of anime, I think, in a lot of ways. And you pull for Boji, you pull for like kind of everybody. You want because stupid things happen that shouldn't happen, but that's what got set in order in motion, and you realize it's like, yeah, this is no good. So if this is all side stories, which got brought up earlier in the chat, then that's good. I will probably end up watching this, see where things fit into it, if the story as known is done. So yeah, go watch the first Osama ranking so you can actually you can get a sense of the whole story. So the manga is probably really good. I've never read it. The anime is, I think, really good on its own. And if this is being made now, it's probably because there's stuff that they couldn't fit into the original core because they probably didn't know how it was going to do. I also just love the fact that the character designs, like the silhouettes, are varied. Everybody has a different look, and that really helps kind of keep what everyone is doing separate. Let us move on from this. I believe I'm going to watch it, and you know if you're going to watch it too or not. Most of you, I have a feeling. So we'll move on. Pokemon getting a brand new series, getting a girl named Rico and a boy named Roy. So there you go. And an hour-long Pokemon episode to start. If you like Pokemon, hey, guess what? It's not over yet. Rokudo no Onnatachi. Oh, shit, really? Oh, I read this for a while, and then I had to drop it. Let me read you the premise. Rokudo is a loser, and everyone knows it. That's this guy here. He is elected in school, receives malicious looks from passerby. I don't know what he is elected in school. I think it's like he gets made the class rep or something. Receives malicious looks from passerby and can only muster the courage to complain in secret with his equally unhappy friends. Seeking to change his life, he desperately uses an ancestral artifact transmitted in his family for generations, a scroll that is able to subdue all demons. It's a weird thing. Roll with it. However, in the modern age, it is a different effect. It causes all bad girls to fall in love with it. And then things go ballistic when he meets the delinquent beast on a girl's body, Himawari Ranna, who hopelessly falls deep for him, which is where the comedy comes in. And the bad girls are very bad girls. The the premise I liked about this was that he has the weird mystical sigil on him that nobody else can see, but all the girls feel the presence of it. And I liked this kind of push-pull of now girls like him, but shit, all these girls who are very violent and very possessive, and Ranna is incredibly strong. And I like that kind of thing too, when it's like, oh, we have a delinquent girl who is like beat up thousands of Yakuza or something like that. I like that whole kind of thing. What I don't like is how as it continues, it's always a game of one-upmanship. It's just shonen manga it just feels like tournament fighter shit, though it's not. I mean, there is literally a tournament at one point, I think, too. And I'm just like, at some point, I'm like, I can't take the constant, there has to be another girl, and then that girl has to be attracted to him, and that has to cause conflict. And then somehow we have to establish Ranna, she'll end up being the winner, and he's trying to learn to be more assertive, and his friends are there, which are good enough. But I'm just like, I just I wanted this to kind of like get a conclusion way sooner, and that's why I dropped it. I'm like, oh, it's over as far as I'm concerned. It's done enough. I've read it to my satisfaction, so I don't think I'll be watching it. What's funny is that kind of also reminds me of what is it again? J.K. something Honakaze-san. What is her name again? Which is a much more ecchi take on the same idea. A boy goes to an all-girls school, or used to be an all-girls school, but it became a co-ed school. But he's the only one who enrolled there, and because he wanted to do fashion studies, because his dad's a tailor and runs a tailoring shop, and he's really good at that, and he wants to learn to be better at it. And so he ends up going to this all-girls school, and nobody trusts him because they were like, oh my God, a boy in our midst. He must be a huge pervert. And there's like 398 girls 346 girls in the school. And over time, he slowly kind of becomes friends with all of them. And I say like slowly, it's like, well, a few at a time, because they all have their own little cliques. And there's like the fashion group and the business group, and there's like the delinquents that are part of the one group, and all this kind of thing. And out of all the cliques, there's always at least one girl in every clique that is attracted to this boy, and he has no idea how to deal with all that attention. And then the Kohais show up, and they make things even more complicated. And I'm still reading that. I don't know why. I can't seem to drop it. I've seen PVs for Skipu to Rofa, Skip and Loafer. I don't know if it's the thing to watch or not. I might think about it. We'll see. It's comedy, romance, slice of life. Seems pretty digestible. Excellent student Iwakura Mitsumi has always dreamt about leaving her small town, going to a prestigious university, and making positive change in the world. But she's so focused on reaching her goals that she's not prepared for the very different and overwhelming city life that awaits her in a Tokyo high school. Yeah, kind of sold already on this, actually. Luckily, she makes fast friends with Shima Sosuke, a handsome classmate who's as laid back as she is overprepared. Can this naive country girl make it big in Tokyo with Sosuke by her side? Can a country girl and a Sosuke boy actually find love? Sure. I'll watch it. PA works. Like a good PA works. Tengoku Daimakyo. All right. Let's see what Production IG has for us here. Within the safety of these walls, youths are raised in a nursery-style setting by robots. While life there may appear stale on the surface, the children are full of potential and curiosity. In many ways, it is like a slice of heaven. Give your children to robots to raise. The outside world is a hellscape. Ah, okay. It is almost entirely void of anything mechanical and is now inhabited by bizarre yet powerful supernatural beings. Maru, with the aid of Kiruko, is out there crisscrossing what once was Tokyo for heaven. But after searching for so long, maybe heaven is more of an untenable dream than a potential reality. Huh. It's a good way to look at it. All right. Moving on. Tensei Kizoku no Isekai Bo Kenryoku Jicho o Shiranai Kamigami no Shito. I see lots of ladies here. Shiina Kazuya is killed protecting a young girl at a convenience store where he just happened to be at the wrong time. The next thing he knows, he's in the kind of world he had only dreamed about, a world of magic and swords. He has been reincarnated as Cain von Silford, the third son of an aristocratic family, and he quickly grows interested in many things he sees. Then on his 5th birthday, he's baptized at a church according to tradition, and the gods grant him several divine blessings along with stats that could only be described as unusual and extraordinary. In his reincarnated life, when it comes to things like battles, romance, and studying, apparently a little overkill is just right. When he puts in the usual effort to do things punctually and properly, it only gets him in trouble. Thus, Cain's chaotic life in another world begins, and my interest ends. Please enjoy this isekai. Maybe it is good. I don't think it's going to be for me, though. It's too serious. The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls U149. That's for anybody who's currently under 14.9 years of age. Let's move down here. It's not. It's under 149 centimeters, so it's all short stacks. The Marginal Service. Sure. This is the Marginal Service. The Marginal Service. Hey, Tokyo Mew Mew new second season. I didn't know that. Well, this is. I don't want to be cruel, but I mean, getting hit by a car is maybe not what you want as a skill for a superhero, but that's what Idaimoto cats tend to get. Oh, that's cruel. Anyway, I still want me a little Yamamaya from Azumanga Daioh to ride on my shoulder. That would be lovely. So this is still going. Yeah, Margie, you're right. That's what happens to isekai protagonists before they get other skills. So that means that somewhere all of those Idaimoto cats are living the fucking kitty's life in they're in the catbird seat, you might say, in some sort of isekai somewhere. It's pretty good. So if you know Tokyo Mew Mew, if you've watched the new one, I've only really watched the new one. Heather did say, let's watch an episode of the old one so you can see who all these people are. And I did, and I'm like, wow, they are literally feel like carbon copies of each other. Whereas in the new series, they have given them all very specific looks, and I mean, the personalities are all different in the original one. Like they're all like, they all have different personalities too, because they're all people and stuff. But the way the onboarding is different to become one of the Mew Mews and like that kind of stuff. And it's like, this was all right. I liked this. I didn't know there's going to be a second one. So yeah. We'll see what happens. My favorite is the Wolf Girl. I don't know if it's because she has so much hair or if it's because she's the tallest. I don't really actually know why that is. I like Fleur as well. I forget her name. She has two names and I tried to remember what they were, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll probably watch more of that. Perhaps we'll see. Oh, good. I was waiting for this too. Second season of Tonikawa Kawaii. So Tonikawa, she's probably from the moon. He doesn't know that. Also, we don't know that, but she's probably from the moon. What? I don't know. Yeah, Lettuce. That's her name. Thank you. I forgot what her name was. I literally don't remember what anyone's names are in most of these series. Was one of them named Fleur? Was it the blue one? I don't really get it. Anyway, this was cute. He fell in love with her when a few years prior to like losing track of her, and then when he saw her again, I think he gets hit by a bus, and this is probably just all his like stuff he's imagining while he's dying. That's always fun to think about, right? No, this is literally she saves his life, and then they get married right away, and they move in together, and then he finds out that she has like a giant house, and he's like, that's weird that you would have a giant house and we live in this tiny little place, and I don't get it. And then they end up moving into the much larger house behind the onsen that is owned by the girl who's had a crush on him for fucking ever and never told him, and now she's missed her chance and she's upset about that. And that, that's romance. So anyway, I want to watch more of it. I want to see what happens. These guys look great. Tosochu, great mission. Great mission, everybody. The time is a future where humans have moved their residence to the moon. In the lunar colony, a game has become very popular. The name of the game is Run for the Money. It is an entertainment survival game in which fugitives are released into a limited area, and if they can escape from the pursuing android hunters until the time limit counts down to 0, they can win a large prize. Some dream of getting rich, while others challenge themselves to test their strength and run for the money. This is the Running Man. Feels like. Yeah, feels like the Running Man. Might be fun. I'm guessing these are the androids, the dudes in the glass, the SP up here. So might be all right. I don't know. I'll put down a thing. Could be interesting to it. everyone's smiling. Well, except that dude, but everyone's smiling. So I have to assume that they're here to have a good time. I'm like, yeah, well, all right. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Watashi no yuri wa oshikoto desu. Well, okay. Hmm. 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 Hime. Good start. Gets roped into working at a weird cafe. Good start. Waitresses pretend to be students at all-girl boarding school. All right. Strangely taken with her partner Mitsuki, who's so kind to her in front of the customers. Ooh, there's that Yuri. This one's just one problem. Mitsuki really can't stand her. So, is this... Are they high schoolers? Are they all adults? It would be way better. I think I would love it a lot more if they were all like adults in their 20s in university, all having to like do this, because it'd be also like I have to put on a uniform again and do this kind of stuff. But yeah. Oh no, I agree with everybody. This, yeah, feels a bit like bad Yuri bait, but also might not be. You know, it might actually work out somehow. I'm gonna put maybe watching on the list. We'll see what happens. I'll pick up 3 and we'll see what happens. I'm just, I'm really about this, and I'm like, I don't know. We've seen her in about a dozen different anime, so that's a good look. Nice to see that more retired characters are finding work. So that's all right. World Die Star. This world is set in a world. The story is set in a world after Die Star stage performers exploded. Oh, that's too bad. 16-year-old Kokona Otori follows her dream of being a world Die Star by auditioning for the serious theatrical troupe. By Lark, eh? I like Lark stuff normally. Source other. What the fuck could that mean? What could it be? Not original, but it's something else. Is it a dream I had one night? I am, God, hearts. I am like, it's so hard to sell me on performing arts group things generally, and the like Review Starlight, whatever it was, we fell off that, but the Takarazuka one, the Silver Stage or whatever it is, I can't remember what that's called again, more recently, one that happened, high school people working, like, you know, women, high school women getting into this very illustrious academy to learn how to, basically getting into a trade school where you learn how to be performers. Kageki Shoujo, thank you so much. Oh my God, I was just dying trying to remember it. Yeah, Review Starlight, didn't like. Kageki Shoujo, really liked. But Beej, aren't they about girls going into performing arts and doing so? Yes. It's... Review Starlight was like... It was somebody who worked for Ikuhara being like, fuck, I could do Yuri Kuma Arashi, and then didn't. And then Kageki Shoujo is somebody being like, I think it'd just be interesting to see what happens to try to get in, like what you'd have to do to be in one of these Takarazuka groups. And I'm like, yeah, and make it a high school. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So, oh, I see mobile game for World Die Star here. Neat. This doesn't have enough hook for me. Because also I don't know what the hell any of this is supposed to mean. And maybe that's the problem too. At least like Takarazuka was like, I can wrap my mind around what this is supposed to be like. Even if Kageki Shoujo is not strictly Takarazuka Review, it's like I can wrap my mind around what that's supposed to be like. I don't know what they're going for here. It's just looks like idol groups. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care about 5-star waifus, Defrost. So we move on. If you watch it and it's good, when we come back to this in 3 months, please let me know. Because maybe it all turns out to be really good. And then I'll feel a little bad for missing it and I'll have to do something. We don't even know what it's supposed to be there anyway. But anyway. All right, Yamada-kun to level 999 no koi o suru, or my level 999 love with Yamada-kun. Reading the manga for this, it's it's like a hit or miss with me. I liked the initial part of it, and it's been interesting. And um, now that the relationship has developed, it's like that has changed a bit of what's gone on in the series. I don't know how that's developing or what's going on from there. I want it to feel like maybe more than what it is. I'm gonna watch it because I want to see how it's been adapted. And I like this. You know, recently dumped Akane is just about to quit the game she used to play with her boyfriend when she meets Yamada in the same RPG. He is a big afro in the RPG. He's very notorious. Yamada in real life turns out to be somewhat of a legend. Well, I mean, in the RPG, he's kind of a legend. In real life, he's a legend in that he kind of always looks like this. He kind of has like no emotional affect to people whatsoever. He just kind of always look dour, but it makes him cool and handsome and highly sought after by all the girls at his university. Again, this is adults, right? This is not high schoolers. This is adults, which is kind of nice. The only problem is he is only interested in the game. As Akane's feelings grow, will Yamada's focus stay on the game? I think I thought it was pretty cool. The Netoge, um, the Netoge no, what the fuck was it called again? Someone's gonna tell me the name of that series too. I forget what it is. Um, that one I really liked because it was about a girl, a woman working who's like, I saved up enough money. I'm quitting my job. I'm just going to play net games all day and turn into a hikikomori, and I'm going to be very happy about it. And just go to the convenience store and just buy, rice and whatever, and just like not work anymore. Yes, recovery of an MMO junkie. There's a Netogeo something or other. I can't remember what they call it again, but that one's really good. I really really liked that one. Something about how all that fit together felt great. This one, reading the manga, I didn't have the same feeling. I'm going to see if Heather wants to watch this with me because, again, a comedy, drama, romance, gaming stuff, she might enjoy it. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to seeing, we can start watching it immediately. Apparently, episode 1 already came out. Yusha ga Shinda. The hero must die? Is that what that is? Pretty sure. Far to the north of the world lies Hell's Gate, a portal formerly used by the demon lord to invade the human realm. Thanks to the legendary hero Shion Bradeatsu, wielder of Excalibur, and his loyal band of companions, the gate was sealed off and the demonic threat was vanquished. Unfortunately, the seal was incomplete, of course, and has begun to weaken, allowing the demons to once again begin their attack. Worried about the safety of his village, Selfish. Oh, this. I was reading this and dropped it. Selfish and perverted farmer Tolka Scott digs pitfalls to defend against the demons. That's just what he does. He just digs traps around his house. But fear not, for Shion is on his way to reseal Hell's Gate and save humanity, or at least he was, because the legendary... Hang on, I gotta click out of that. No, don't you dare. Because the legendary hero is dead, having fallen into one of the pitfalls Tolka dug. That happens like immediately. Luckily, dealing with the dead is especially of necromancer Henri Hainsworth, lives in town. While she can't, she lives in town anyway. While she can't revive him, Henri can at least salvage the quest by forcing Tolka's soul into Shion's rotting body and dragging him along to Hell's Gate in Shion's place. Not wanting to be left behind, Tolka's childhood friend Yuna Yunis, which I believe is her there, tags along. Together, the three of them set out as what just might be the most unsuitable party to ever try to save the world. I remember this being very funny, but also kind of like I bumped into a point where I'm like, it just like all of everything that just happened here happens in the first half of the first chapter. Like literally it just, we're done, boom, moving on. Oh, right, I forgot the thing about thighs. Oh man, he's into thighs. He is so into thighs. He just fucking talks about thighs nonstop, it seems. So there's that. But I mean, it's got the ecchi tag for a reason, right? And I'm like, sure. I think it's popular enough that people like it. I'm the kind of, you know me, guys. We've been doing this for a while. I'm not going to be like, oh, this dude's all fet about thighs, so I can't watch it. I'm like, I'm not that kind of person. I will totally watch that, fine. But I don't know. I think I felt like I bounced off it because something about the story and the I don't mind repetition in a story when it's like it's comedy clearly and like the same kind of things are happening, but it's like, but I just don't want to do this anymore and just like fell off it. So yeah. Oh yes, thank you, Tiber. He's so into thighs, he grows radishes because you can put them in leggings and they look like thighs. And now that guy is in the hero's body. So anyway. Is anyone watching Corel Paint Shop Pro? I'm even surprised that Corel still makes Paint Shop Pro. I remember they bought Paint Shop Pro, but anyway, moving on. Oh, this will be good. Are you anyone watching Sakuretsu Amabi Hime? Well, there's a sequel. Who knows what it looks like, but there's a sequel. Yutunya follows the daily misadventures of cute cartoon kitties such as Nya, a cat who runs an unpopular channel, Tomoneko, a cat who runs an extremely successful channel, and Tsuyo Neko, a cat who runs a martial arts themed channel. Those are the three genders: unpopular YouTuber, popular YouTuber, and martial arts YouTuber. I don't think I'm going to be watching that. Oh, this is still going. Boku to Roboko. Vinland Saga still rolling on. And we move into the movies. Amrita no Kyoen. No kidding, it's a horror. I'm thinking that Amrita is maybe from Amarita, like the mushrooms. I don't really know. Moving on. Oh, shit. Cool. Okay. So 2 films adapting the Sailor Stars arc. Okay. I guess I maybe need to watch some other. I need to watch any of this, maybe move on and see what happens. I only like Stars because of Eternal Sailor Moon. I didn't like Stars but she's already done up in Eternal Sailor Moon gear. I did not like Stars for the hey, we're gonna take Mamoru and we're gonna shove him we're gonna shove him on a plane and send him away, and let's introduce a new love interest for Usagi. Didn't like that at all. I was not a fan of that. Don't know if I'd be a fan of that now or not. This is 20 years ago. Anyway, we'll see. I should mark it just so I remember that it's there. Who knows when I'll get around to watching it. Black Clover, Mahote no Ken. Shonen Jump's magical battle fantasy Black Clover, whose anime has been ranked #1 in viewership in 87 countries in the region, is finally getting its first movie adaptation. All right, good for them. Congratulations. Collar and Malice, Deep Cover, a dangerous shadow organization launches a campaign of fear and violence in the city of Shinjuku, pushing society to the brink of chaos. As a young police officer tasked with restoring order, you become the target of an attack and have a poisonous collar attached to your neck. Visual novel. That's why. Why am I reading this all like this? Spiraling out of control. Time running out. Mysterious strangers appear to aid you in your quest for the truth. Who can you trust? Save yourself in the soul of Shinjuku. Whatever. Moving on. AQ Shonen Eternal Boys is getting a movie. Okay, didn't watch the series yet. So Idlish 7 Live 4-bit Beyond the Period. So a live performance from the top runners of the mail order world, who can be for black or white live showdown. Whatever. Moving on. Meitante Konen, Kurogane no Submarine. Well, so Black Iron Submarine apparently sounded like it was supposed to come out previously because the other Conan movie that has already come out was supposed to be related to this in some way. I don't really know, but we'll move on. Princess Principal, Crown Handler, Chapter 3. Apparently, I didn't know this. Princess Principal is apparently much more Yuri than anything else. I was unaware of that. Still haven't watched it, so moving on. Psycho-Pass Providence. There you go. Hey, Psycho-Pass is in their 10th anniversary. If you watch that, have a movie. I didn't. Rakudai Majo, Huka to Yami no Majo. Huka, a little witch, I'm going to assume that's her, is trained to be a better witch like her mother, a queen of Silver Castle. She's a lively girl and cares about her friends, but she gets into trouble sometimes. Karin, a princess of Green Castle, I'm going to guess the one in the green, is Huka's best friend. And Chitose, a prince of Blue Castle, this is getting easier, is her friend from childhood. Huka goes to the Wood of Wolf to look for a tunnel with them, but they find a hole instead. This is an exciting story of adventure and friendship. Now, a tunnel and a hole. Can anyone describe to me, can you name the difference between a tunnel and a hole? Anybody? See, the Meerkat says one leads somewhere, the other one ends. Technically, a hole leads to where it ends, just like a tunnel does. Defrost, one is secret. I will accept that as an answer. Anyway, moving along. I'm glad you're all getting involved in the quiz, though. That's very good. Thank you. I do like vertical versus horizontal. You're right. Oh, a tunnel is a hole with a purpose. How about a tunnel is a hole that's built to code? I don't know. It's fine. Seishun butayaro odekake sister no yume no minai. Why does this sound familiar too? Anyway, what will it take to make her wish come true? I don't know. Maybe she wants a tunnel. After a draining December, Sakuta is quickly nearing the end of his second year of high school. That's tough. Yeah. Since Mai is a third-year student, they don't have much time left together before graduation rolls around. Meanwhile, his sister Kaede is slowly but steadily venturing outdoors again. Oh, that's good. She begins to find her footing. I was worried about Kaede. I hope you guys were too. It's kind of touch and go there for a while, but we were all had her in our hearts, didn't we? Just as she begins to find her footing, she announces her most ambitious goal yet, attending her brother's high school. You can't do that. It's full of poison. Sakuta knows better than anyone how difficult this will be for Kaede. Even better than me? I thought I was best friends with Kaede, and he's ready to support her however he can. He's just not sure if that's what's best for her or what she really wants, even though it's what she said she wants, because she wanted something. And it's a psychological comedy, and it's supernatural, but it's also a romance. And Sakuta is probably dating Mai, I guess, because that's the romance. But Kaede wants to date Mai, and that's the psychological part. And Sakuta's fine with that, and that's the comedy part. And everyone's dead, and that's the supernatural part. All right. OVA Onna Special. Ayo de Mishi. Mystery thriller. Moving on. Chojigen Game Neptune, the animation. Hidamari no Little Purple, the third and final installment of the Neptune OVA series trilogy. We're not going to watch it, but we'll read it anyway. Magiquone, Magiquone, with her secret plan against the goddesses, Level Trick appears to challenge the battle. While their guard are down, Level Trick's level down attack hit the four goddesses, but Magiquone is also caught up in the aftermath, worried about their sister's disappearance. Nepgear and the others go out to search for them and found Noir and the other sisters who had been transformed into young children as a result of the level down attack, and only Neptune is still missing. Meanwhile, Magiquone and Neptune are running a vast eggplant farm. They too have been transformed into their younger form and lost their memories due to the effects of level down. What will become of the strange shared life with their eternal nemesis, Graham? Fuck. Ensemble stars, Tsuyoku selection, Element. An Ensemble Stars anime project about the 5 eccentrics and past 5 units in the war era of the Ensemble Stars mobile game. The anime is based in the Element story during the reminiscence asterisk gathering of the 3 magicians, event from the game. Note the entire anime has already been fucking shown, so you missed it. This got moved. Kudomi's Pretty Journey is actually happening now, I guess. No, it's already been aired, but it's in spring. Great. Nijion animation specials. Oh, this is the More Love Live. I only know that because I remember the Nijion being from Nijigakuoka or something. Oh, Beej already did almost all of his work on the new series of Quirpline. Don't worry about that. They wrote me off the show. I'm kidding. I'm lying about that. Anyway, OVA Azure Lane, Queen's Orders, an OVA adaptation of the Azure Lane spin-off manga Azure Lane. Queen's Orders announced the Azure Lane 5th anniversary Azure Lane. I hope you like Azure Lane. Maybe it's what you do. Saikyo Onmyoji Mini. Oh, more of those. I guess they're still coming out. Whatever. Ultraman Final. 3rd and final season of Ultraman. Shinjiro Ultraman, who saw... This isn't anime. It shouldn't be here. I'm mad. No, it's fine. I mean, Tokusatsu stuff really, though, should all show up in here then. I'd like to know more about that. Powers unleashed beyond his control. City is destroyed. People are hurt. They call him a disaster mankind. He's a target for condemnation. He's alone, having lost everything. Middle of a maelstrom of fate. Ominous alien force moves in secret. It's Ultraman. Uma Musume Pretty Derby Road to the Top. A new anime will depict TM opera Admire Vega, Narita Top Road, another Uma Musume going head to head to win classic competitions. Listen, I liked the first one. I don't. I liked the first one. I tried to watch the second one and kind of fell out with it. Because I guess I just couldn't stay interested. Because I like Special Week. I like Special Week as a character, but that's because that was that plucky kind of, I'm going to try to do the thing. And it's like, yeah, okay, I'm around for this. Focusing on other characters who have been around for a while and letting them have their own stories should have been more interesting, but I don't know why I didn't grab on me, which is a shame because I'm seeing people say the second season is surprisingly good. Right? Kururu Guasu just said, surprisingly good. And I've seen other people say that as well. So it's not just one person here. I know other people have said season 2 is really good. And if they're saying that, they're probably saying it because it felt better than season 1. So, and here's more things. And so I'm like, I just watched 2 or 3 episodes of it or whatever, and then bounced off. And I'm like, I don't know if I should come back to it or would watch more of it or whatever. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add this to the list. The maybe list at least, and then just think about that. Is there more to be done here? Because it's still just largely, I don't know, it largely feels like they all get dressed up in the clothing and then they do the running and then they're supposed to do the singing. And I don't give a shit about the singing. I like watching the races. They're kind of good because it's tense. And I like watching the training and the interaction stuff, and that's pretty good too. And it's like, if there isn't a good mix, I don't know. Like, anyway, is it Gold Ship? Who's the one who always has the human ear covers on? Essentially, has the like pseudo blinders over their ears that you should be able to see, but you can't see them because they only have horse ears. And it's like, I like Gold Ship. I think she's always fun. But anyway, moving on. Yahari ore no seishun love come. Seishun love come. Probably kome for love comedy. Seishun love kome wa machigatteiru. Whoa. Wait, hang on. Have I seen this? Oh. There's a game demo that ore no seishun labu kome wa machigatteiru. Right, my teen rom-com snafu. Thank you very much. Kan, dakara, shishunki wa owarazu ni seishun wa tsuzuite iku. This is good practice for me to kind of keep seeing Romanji and pronouncing it. Okay, not interested in this, but it was stuff that was made before. Moving on. Yakitori. On Netflix, set in a future where the solar system is dominated by trade federations who are in constant conflict in order to escape his restrictive homeland of Japan, and under the recommendation of his military cook friend, Pupkin, has to be this. You know, Pupkin loves you. Akira enlists in a Trade Federation orbital drop infantry group. What? Such infantry are notorious for their 70% casualty rate and are nicknamed Yakitori for their expendability. I don't know. Probably maybe not. I just guess he needed something to do. I'd like to live in space and die because I don't want to live in Japan because it's too restrictive. This is what I don't understand. Like, the solar system, like, space is going to be as restrictive, isn't it? Like, it's like, I don't want to live in Japan where I can't be made to do it. Maybe he must have a shit job, I guess, maybe, or no job, perhaps, and needs to do something. It's like, let's just make him into chicken, I guess. Fried chicken. Yoru wa neko to isho. Season 2. Didn't watch the first one, so I'll pass on that. Oh. Yojo Shacho R. Okay, second season of this. I thought I was going to watch the first one of this. Anyway, yeah, sequel. And that's it. That's it. That's 8:20, which is later than I meant to go, but so things that we are excited for in the new whatever. Can I actually can I tell it through settings somehow to only show me hide anime I'm not watching? Perfect. And now back to the thing. It did not work. Did I not save the settings? I didn't want to have to go through the whole freaking thing. I probably have. No, it says enabled. Hide anime I'm not watching. Oh, I have to tell it I'm not watching it. Fuck. Right. All right. Doesn't matter. All right. Let's roll through. I have to actually literally put the not watching this thing on here. I'm too lazy to do that for everything. That's why it's like if you haven't made a decision, it's not going to tell you. I could have, like, if there's a way to say just show me what I'm watching, and probably have to go to like a list or something somewhere to do that. So it's okay. We'll just fly through this pretty fast. So Ano Orchestra was thinking about obviously Birdie Wing season 2. That's exciting, right? Boku no Kokoro, the Dangers in My Heart. I am really keen on seeing how they adapt this. Let's see here. Dr. Stone getting a new season. That'll just be nice to be able to watch a little more of that. Edomai Elf. I am keen to see this adaptation as well. Maybe it's more than what I've actually read in the manga as well. That'll be kind of fun. Right. Really excited for the transfer student is assertive. The something transfer student is. I wish I could remember what the thing about what the Tenkosei, the transfer student, gui gui kuru, right? Jiju wo shiranai, the something transfer student is assertive. I can't remember what the goddamn thing is. Anyway, really excited for this. Moving on. The Too Cute Crisis. We'll see. Right. Yes. Conclusion probably. Well, second season anyway of Witch from Mercury. That. Interested to see that. Nice to get. Hopefully that'll be an ending. Yes, Kimi wa your after school insomnia. The clueless transfer student is assertive. Thank you, Spidomorphy. Yes, and your after school insomnia. I definitely want to see how this is adapted. I'm really looking forward to this. And if you go read this. Go look up the other manga too. The guy also draws excellent butts and jeans. Just throwing that out there. That is a thing that the mangaka does. Draws exquisite butts and jeans. And cats. Draws cats and butts and jeans. Kuma Bear getting a second season. Nice. A lot of second seasons for me here, like just continuations of stuff I've already watched, which has to suck because I'm not really saying here's a new thing a lot of times, right? So Ancient Mage's Bride, I will think about Mashal. I will have to wait maybe to see what you guys talk about maybe with that, obviously. Let's see here. Right. I want to see the adaptation of Niehime to Kimono no O, the human princess and the King of Beasts. Yeah. Anyway, Otonari no Ginga. Yes, here's an original thing, a manga, and feels very Crane wifey to me. So I can't wait to see how that turns out. Osama Ranking. You know what? Actually, let's just say I am watching it. That's going to be way easier. If these are side stories, it probably fit in just better. Skip and Loafer. Yeah, could use a good little high school romance. Will be fun. I thought there was another one I missed down here coming up. Tokyo Mew Mew New. I'll have to tell Heather about that, see if we're watching it or not. Yep, Tonikaku Kawaii getting a season 2. Man, it's just season 2s all the way down. We don't really know about this Great Mission thing yet. I'll think a little bit about that. Think a bit about Yuri Is My Job. I think somebody was talking about the manga for this. Was this a manga? It is, yeah. Somebody was talking about the manga for this, and I don't know if they liked it or not. I don't really know. And then Yamada-kun, not that interested in watching the anime for it, but The Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Thank you, Doodles. That was that previous one, the King of Beasts, the Sacrificial Princess, and the King of Beasts. And Yamada-kun, mostly interested in watching to see what the adaptation is like, because I'm so far ahead in the story. But hey, if it's light and it's fun, maybe it'll be good. And then that brings us to the STL miniatures, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that's in here too, which I think for the most part I didn't mark much, other than Stars getting a 2 movie adaptation. I think everything else in here is just like nothing overall, all the way down. Definitely don't want to miss out on Neptune though, right? And then Uma Musume getting a new anime, but it's it's only 4 episodes. The horse said. I will probably, yeah. I'll probably just watch those 4. It means I'll have to watch the rest of the season too, though. So that's it, guys. That was good. Thank you so much. It's Oshino Ko's by the Kaguya-sama author. Oh, Gekyoru. Oh, that sucks. Why did you have to tell me that? Oh, I don't really like the premise. I'm not a fan of the premise, though. Like, but if it's good, then it's good, right? I will consider it, but all right. It's not a lie, but the series is better than that sounds. Okay, well, okay, well, I mean, do you want me, Gekyoru, to come back here in 3 months and tell you how much I didn't enjoy it, and that's your fault? Don't take. I'm not breaking any sort of parasocial shit here or anything. By the way, it's just, yeah. If you hate it, I won't blame you. Nice. Okay, let's finish it up. It's implied to take place in the same world as Kaguya. Oh God. Oh, what could that mean? Fujiwara shows up. Okay, let's just wrap this up. Let's go back to the booth. Let's chat briefly. Okay, we saw a whole bunch of things. Good looking stuff that's coming up. Excited about that. I would really like to actually be closer to the audience right now. I wonder if I can make that happen. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can. I have moved slightly closer to the audience. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. Look in this camera where the audience is. So lots of stuff coming up, lots of like second season stuff to watch. So I'm excited about that, because why watch anything new when you can just watch more of the stuff that you already know about, especially if you're already reading the manga for it, so you already know if you like it or not. That's very agnostic. I've always said there's nothing an agnostic can't do if he doesn't know if he believes in anything or not. Now, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys have stuff that you're watching this season that you will enjoy, or you just enjoyed coming here and hearing me like talk about anime. If you're not really a fan or whatever, and you saw me talk about stuff here where you're like, oh, maybe I'll watch that, regardless of whether I said I was going to watch it or not, or whether I'm just kind of like over a lot of stuff. Again, we all like the stuff that we like. So if we all don't like the same things, that's okay. It's no big deal there. So I encourage you to, talk about the things that you'll find, the safe places to talk about the things that you like. I also encourage you to not tell a soul about the stuff that you like, because sometimes just having the thing that's for you kind of makes you feel good about having a thing that's just kind of for you to enjoy. And you don't have to risk like, well, why do you like it? It's like, I don't know. It's mildly problematic, but hey, I can live with that sometimes in the media I consume, especially if I'm media aware and I know that how that can have effect on the stuff I think about, on my thoughts. But that brings us to the end of the stream. So I'm gonna just end the stream, because that's what has to be done. So again, thank you for joining me tonight for Beej's Anime Roundup. That's gone a little bit long here on Loading Ready Run. This great little bonus stream that we held here. And as always, everything we do is brought to you by you. If you're watching this on YouTube, the main channel, youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, you can subscribe to a membership thing there if you want to. There's memberships available on that. There's also super thanks, I think. I don't know if that's on every channel or not. If you happen to notice that it is, then great. And if you want, though, here on Twitch, you can subscribe here, and you can also give bits. So subscribe and give bits here. That's a way to support us too. But Patreon is a really big one. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. If you go to the Patreon and subscribe there, that is a great way to get to get your support to us. We all need money to live. That's why they call it money. And but also, if you want to do something a little bit different than any of that, you can go to our store. And I love it when people go to the store and buy stuff, because it's like you're giving us money, but you're also getting like something to put on your body or to keep in your cupboards or to, wear on your clothing, little pins and stuff like that, or play on a play mat or something. It's like you're advertising us and you paid us to do it. That old marketing spiel. If you're going to wear somebody's logos, wear mine is all I'm asking. For God's sakes. Look, shirts are coming back into stock as well. They're not arrived yet. They're still in manufacturing, but they will be coming back into they will be coming back into stock soon. We also have the Welcome Aboard collection that's available right now, because we're moving to a new Moonbase Mark 6. We don't know when we will be moving in. We hope it is soon. Every week I hope it is happening that week, but it is not happened this week, and it won't be happening next week, I don't think. Because there's still work to be done, obviously. And also the PPR is next week, so we don't want to move in the middle of the PPR. That might be challenging. But yeah, if you want to help, rather, let's think of it this way. You want to celebrate the launch of Moonbase Mark 6? Because for us, it's a big deal. This is a big investment for us, and there's a lot going on there for us to move into this space. And it's like, if you want to help celebrate that launch and be like, hey, check it out, I got this rad pin because I helped back this, or I have a poster on my wall that shows that I backed it, or I have these mission patches that I'm wearing on my on my BDUs or on my jean jacket or whatever, because I'm going to make them Velcro compliant ones. So I think it means I have to put the hooks on them, because the soft fuzzy stuff is always on a uniform or whatever. If you like that kind of stuff, or you want to sew down a jacket onto a hat or whatever, we're making patches as well. And you can and if any of that stuff interests you, you can go to the store and you can buy that stuff. And we've also put everything into a bundle, and that bundle comes with a first class ticket that you can use to pretend that we would accept it, because we're not going to accept it. We don't do moonbase visits, unfortunately. But you can have that to be like, yes, this is me flying on the thing, and then also on the ship that would go to the orbiting underground moonbase. And also it comes with an amenity kit of the first class things that you might need on an extended travel in that way. Nothing terribly... we didn't want to put anything in that was just like, I rip it open and I eat it and I'm done. We can't put food in it anyway. So we wanted these things to be kind of useful over a period of time, if we can do that. Things wouldn't immediately throw, but kind of feel like fun, cool little things to have. I picked this stuff kind of thinking about also what would be nice to use at a convention if you happen to have that stuff on hand. And maybe I have different ways of coming at convention logic than some of you do. So maybe you'll look at this and be like, really, Beej wants this shit for convention? Think of it that way. So you're going to go there and find out that the bundle and the pin are out of stock as of right now. That's because we've sold through our initial allocation. So all I ask is you put your name down on the restock thing, your email address in the restock area. That's so that we can get a count to know if we can meet our minimums. Because we've sold the initial allocation. We know that's the amount that we can actually sell. If we can sell any more, it will be based on whether or not there's enough people who are interested in buying more. And I know that's things like people want to be like, I want to buy a shirt or a hoodie and I want to get that with everything all in one order. It's like, yes, well, the shirts and hoodies aren't back yet. So this is your opportunity to put your name in for this and say, hey, you can... I'm interested in getting one of these. And the more people who do that, the better the chances are that we will be able to restock that. Please don't put your name on the bundle or the pin if you're not interested in buying them, because that'll give us a weird sense of that. So we want to have a more solid count of people who are willing to buy either of those things, and that'll help push that along. So that's all the chat for that. I want to thank you guys all for being here tonight. This is always fun to do, and I'm still going longer than normally. So we will see you again in 3 months, where we've watched some anime. We'll get to see what's happening in summer. I'm not going to look at summer until I'm done watching spring, because it's way easier for me to track what's going on when I just have to think about the one time a year when I'm doing anything. So take care. Have a good night.